Welcome back to another episode of Flick Fights, ladies and gentlemen. This week we have what would you call it? Gothic British history? What do you call these characters?
We had a Monster Mash, is what we did.
Monster Mash,
There was a Graveyard Smash.
This week is Van Helsing versus League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I knew at least one or two things these movies had in common. And then when I started watching them, I was like, wow, they have a lot more in common than I planned on.
Oh, dude, they straight up I never noticed they fucking name drop Van Helsing and fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen before this.
Yeah. I think not half of it, but a lot of the cool characters in that movie are just name dropped. It would have been really cool to actually see them or something, but
it's like, man, Dracula would be cool to have. Well, we couldn't get Dracula. It's a different company owns the rights.
We're going to talk about him.
A lady that was a friend of the guy that fought Dracula.
Exactly. The most constrained relations to the most famous characters in history.
Was it a Universal movie? I forgot, to check.
I know Van Helsing was.
Yeah, Van Helsing, 100% was, but I think this must not have been. That's probably why they couldn't get, the Invisible Man and all this shit. They're just basically trying to make a Universal monster movie and have the rights for monsters.
Yeah, that is one of the facts on here, is that they would not give them the rights to use Invisible Man, so they just said he's an Invisible Man.
Yes, he's not the Invisible Man, he's just a Invisible Man.
Well, then, even in the movie, he's not the only Invisible Man.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, that guy died, I'm someone totally different.
It took me a minute to figure out who the fuck that even was, but yeah. So if you're new to the show, we take two movies through a boxing-style matchup. We do a tale of the tape, where we give you the vitals of each movie, and then we go through the plot of each movie, take them through 10 rounds, score each movie on a scale of 1 to 10, and declare a winner. Last 2 weeks in a row, we've had a tie. Only one of them ended with an actual tiebreaker, so we'll see if we can break the streak here, or keep it going.
Not sure on this one. Yeah, this one might be a little hard. These are very similar match movies at the end of the day.
Even the rounds, I tried to make it their similarities, because there's some things that...
Yeah, if you just have who had the best werewolf and the best Jekyll, or I guess no werewolf.
I did, yeah.
Monster.
But I'll tell you right now, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that was... every once in a while I watch a movie from my childhood that I've defended my entire life, and I'm like, yeah, see, this movie fucking holds up. It's awesome. And then the other times I watch it, I'm like, this is way fucking worse than I remember. And unfortunately, this was one of the latter times with League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I still love it, just because I love it, but...
yeah. There's some logical fallacies
in that movie.
This. Yeah. It's like, how does pulling a big lever fix a submarine? We'll get into it.
Yeah, there's quite a few things that I was just
where did he get the hat?
What was that?
Yeah. No, but where did he get the hat? What haberdasher did he hold hostage to get that? We'll get into it.
I don't know, bro. All right. As always, please like, subscribe, share the episode. If you're on Spotify, please add and download and rate the show. But with that, we're going to have Van Helsing in the blue corner and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in the red corner. Nick, if you want to go through the vitals of Van Helsing in the blue corner. I know it's not actually funny, but I was thinking it would have been funny if you came to this episode and you're like, I accidentally watched Underworld.
I mean, it would have been an honest mistake to make. You got similar leads in here.
I accidentally watched Wolverine.
Yeah. Hey, man, if I had a nickel for every time Kate Beckinsale was in a vampire versus werewolf movie, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
All right, Van Helsing had a budget of 160 to 170 million. Worldwide box office of 300.2 million. You got to get that 0.2 in there. Runtime of 130 minutes, which, this movie... we talked about earlier, it's fucking long. IMDb
Christ, man. Every time I watch these movies, it's usually at nighttime, I'm trying to squeeze it in after I get the kids to sleep. And this one, I'm sitting here just like this by the end of the movie, please.
And stab someone. Had a critic score of 24%, audience of 57, which I don't think is fair. It's schlock, but it's wonderful schlock. It's some good old tasty cheese.
Sometimes I think people like movies and then get convinced by the masses that it sucks, so they just start saying it, and I think Van Helsing is one of those, because when it came out, I didn't meet a single person that didn't like that movie.
Yeah, and I remember going to fucking Universal Studios, right when it came out, there was this huge fucking maze, all built towards it. They cared about this movie. And director Stephen Sommers. We have a cast of Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, Richard Roveberth, and David Wenham.
Wenham?
win him. And
Yeah.
other notable films from this director are Sommer's The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and Deep Rising.
That makes sense.
Not The Mummy 3. Yeah. This is just it's just a
So,
fucking
fun fact, I'm sure
swashbuckling action
everybody
tale.
knows by now. The reason it was from the same director as The Mummy is because they made Van Helsing, and they were going to try to basically do what League of Extraordinary Gentlemen did and have an Avengers-style franchise build-up where they all come together. And this movie kind of put a fucking roadblock on that, but
They tried so many times to do that. Then even like the Tom Cruise one not too long ago, like, we can still do this. They're like, okay, fuck it, we're just doing Kong and fucking Godzilla. That's all we're doing now.
that movie was horseshit. That was one of the many Blue Beam movies that I will never forgive. In the red corner, we have League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, released in 2003, just a year before Van Helsing. Its budget was $78 million. Worldwide box office of $179 million. Runtime was 110 minutes. IMDb 5.8, so pretty close to Van Helsing. Rotten Tomatoes critic score was 17%, which I think was a little over the top.
Yeah. Well, you know what the fucking hate boners are for both these movies? Like they're fun.
I can see what critics would hate in both of them, but not like fucking 17% hate. That's like
gotta look up like some other 17% movies, gonna be like Jack and Jill or some shit. Like it does not deserve to be down there with that.
Absolutely, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They need to start looking at what they're putting it in the same box as. Audience gave it a 44%. It was directed by Stephen Norrington. So Stephen versus Stephen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Sean Connery, Nasiruddin Shah, Peter Wilson, Tony Curran, Stuart Townsend, Shane West, a whole bunch of fucking people.
Oh, yeah.
He also directed Blade, which blew my mind. I didn't know that. Death Machine and The Last Minute. I've never seen The Last Minute. Yeah, me either. Death Machine I've seen, Blade I've seen, and I would have never put Blade and Death Machine in the same vibe at all. Let's go ahead and start doing the plots here. You want to just go ahead and do Van Helsing first, since we're already doing it in that order?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me get my Van Helsing notes out here.
Red corner. Universal used to do some awesome opening animations to movies that have kind of fallen by the wayside. And
oh yeah, no, dude. Even both these movies are just like I had in my notes. Just like the effort felt higher in these movies, and I'm seeing a lot of movies nowadays.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I saw like Warner Brothers or MGM or Universal and watch it come in and then change. Like I don't know why. That's a stupid little thing, but they used to do it all the time when I was a kid. It would make me so excited.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like it always
like the
reminds
Men
me
in Black with the neuralizer.
Yeah. Or even going further back, like the Batman animated series fucking WB logo turning into the blimp, like fucking like
yes.
It used to be like their signature. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. That shit was dope.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, we start Van Helsing in like a classic Universal Hammer horror style, fucking black and white. Like it looks like an old fucking horror movie as we start.
It's great.
Yeah, and we like just like smash right in on basically like the It's Alive part of fucking Frankenstein, like the climax where like he's just raised like Frankenstein's monster, which get that right, Dr. Frankenstein's monster. The movie does a pretty good job of keeping that straight too in this, which I respect.
Right until the end, they just call him Frank. They basically look at him and say, "Fuck it, you're Frankenstein."
We don't want to say it's awkward. We're just calling you Frankie. Yeah, and Frankenstein has successfully raised life from death, and apparently Dracula is Frankenstein's financial backer.
Yeah, shoehorning that in was a little. They obviously said fuck the actual Frankenstein story with this because
no,
the fact that the villagers are there immediately upon its conception.
Like he pulled the switch and they're just like kill him, like just like their peasant senses were tingling. Like some shit's going on over there. Get the torches.
That's amazing. Kill him now. I don't know why there's lighting over there, but he needs to die.
Basically Dracula in this is the most like there's no ambiguity in this Dracula. Like in a lot of films and media, he's like this tragic, misunderstood like character who's both good and evil, and he's like a man. This is just like the most mustache fucking twirling villain I've ever fucking seen.
Dude, he is the most theatrical Dracula I have ever seen. Like theater kid. Dude, literally, he does that. Like when he jumps off his bed, he goes, and like floats down. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, dude, his wives in the background all the time are like fucking voguing. Like it's great.
I want to know what direction the director was giving that led to that, where he's just like, no, theater kid turned goth. Do it.
I think what it is they're trying to reference like the old silent black and white films where everything was like because like they had to fucking like overemphasize it because there was no audio. So I think
Yeah,
it's like it's a play
it
on
really
that, but
stands out when you don't have everyone else doing that.
yeah, when Hugh Jackman just like come thumping into a scene, and he's just fucking like twirling and shit, basically. And he like
I
teleports
noted it.
theatrically, and yeah.
Every time he did it, I just wrote down, why is he so fucking drama queen?
I know, it's like he's enjoying it. He's just like, it's like, and then I appear here, and I'm upside down over here, and then behind you.
Yeah, even here, he's just, he's eating up the scenery for no one.
He's just bamfing around for his like own fucking amusement, just like. Yeah, and like there's even a point where it's like Victor's like, it's like, no, he's innocent. Yeah, I won't use him for such evil. He's like, I will.
Yeah, he's straight up. No, I'm going to do that. And yeah, this part of this scene has always stuck out in my head forever, where he like holds out a sword to him. I don't know how he didn't know he was a vampire. Like they've developed a working relationship. It's never come up somehow.
Yeah,
But,
it's like, bro, he was just on your ceiling, like.
Right. Yeah, Victor holds a sword out and he just like pushes himself onto it all dramatically. It's like, I can't die.
Yeah, another parallel that happens in this movie. Immortal gets fucking pierced by a sword intentionally. Yeah, and then he just like bites out Frankenstein's throat, and Frankenstein's monster sees that and it's like, no, and like breaks out his restraints, and just like, I guess like it's like an electrical coil, just like grabs one of the Frankenstein
Wrecks
machines.
His shit.
Dude, like getting hit by a fucking car at 60 miles an hour into the fireplace.
Yeah, it was funny because most of the movie he's like untouchable, but for that one moment right at the beginning, he's off screen in half a second.
Yeah. I want to get like the fucking like little graph that the Mythbusters had to like figure out like how fast he was moving at that exact moment. Oh yeah, and then basically after that we just go to the windmill scene of like every Frankenstein movie ever.
Right.
Where
He picks him up and runs off with him. I gotta say, whoever played Frankenstein must have been an opera singer or something. It happens several times in this movie.
Yeah,
he has like this insane vibrato in his screams of horror.
I know, yeah. And I also was like realizing too, I think he was like kind of mixed with Quasimodo a little bit in this too, like just like his like kind of ethos and like this like torture monster thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Quasimodo in the other one, but you know. This like this was that era of fucking movies where like this is like what this channel is based on, or it was like Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, or both fucking studios were just like staring at each other with fucking binoculars across the fucking fence, like, write that down, they're doing this.
But when it was this shit, I liked it. When it was like such uncharted territory, I loved it. I love when everybody was like, let's just do monster movies and like really ham it up.
Yep.
But once they start doing like White House Down and shit, that's when I was like, this sucks. I hate this. Why is every movie this?
But yeah, then windmill that he goes up gets burned. We see the practical makeup on Frankenstein is fucking great in this too. Like all the electrical
head and
it's like the lightning still inside of him.
Their practical effects are great. Some of their CGI is god awful. While this is happening, you see Dracula and his brides come flying down. I had to go make sure that I was watching not a pirated version because it looks so shitty when they fly down.
Well, I think the problem was like they actually actively downgraded it because there's like all this like particle physics where like they're flying through the clouds and shit. I don't think it looked good. So I think they just fucking like cranked down the graphics and like turned up the darkness on that shit and just fucking like, okay, don't look at that too hard.
Yeah. Like, granted, it's only like for 1 second, but I was like, that looks so bad.
Yeah,
then you get your first taste of them weeping, which they just do the entire movie. Dracula's brides are just when the first one dies, he doesn't even give a shit, and I'm like, I get it. He's like, oh my god, thank God.
Yeah, he's like, okay, another one. Like what?
He's like, it's like one less person constantly crying. I don't know what you want from me.
And they're also drawing attention from him, which I'm sure he doesn't want.
Right. And then we get a 1 year later to Paris. And I got to say real quick, the music they play, his like little theme song, the little Spanish guitar, I fucking love it.
Yeah, and we like cut to like a wanted poster, then like, you know, fucking Hugh Jackman takes down the wanted poster and it's him, and it's Van Helsing, who's this like legendary monster hunter who's also called a murderer, because like the poster says like wanted dead or alive, and he hears some cry off in the distance and sprints off to it and finds like a dead lady of the evening, I'm assuming, because it's like
a lit cigar.
Reference. And a lit cigar.
Like, I know it's tropey with the wanted poster sign, but I do love it, especially in this kind of movie. It's still cool.
Well, no, this is like, it's like, man, it's like, if you want to just like embrace the tropes and lean headfirst into it, I'm there for it. It's just like people that like try to pretend they're above it that I have a problem with.
Yes.
It's like, No, if
Absolutely.
you like, I'm here for the archetypes and shit, man. I'll fucking watch the hero's journey again. I don't care.
And the way they use that as like the title screen, like it never comes up and says Van Helsing in big letters or anything. You get the wanted
No.
poster and it zooms out, and I thought that was pretty cool.
And yeah, but we find out he is hunting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is a sentence we'll not say for the last time this evening.
Yes, he's not done enough. I wish he was in more shit. Like I said, when they were doing these movies, I thought it was great. I think that these characters should be done a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I I think, I mean, especially now that Guillermo del Toro did that whole Frankenstein thing, which is doing amazing.
Yes,
Like this would be the time to explore Jekyll and Hyde. That'd be like probably
that
a
would be
really
amazing.
interesting thing to do at this point. Also, just I mean, not to give too much away at this point, because the Jekyll and Hyde CGI is like fine in this, but the actual practical like costumes and shit from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was fucking like amazing.
It was good. I got, we'll get to it, but I like this one a lot. And I like that they're so vastly different. Not just how they look, but the way they behave is completely fucking different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
This
you
guy,
see
he's
butt
like,
cheeks on this hide
yeah, yeah.
because
This
he's
one
just so
has like a
fucking fat and sloppy.
yeah, and he's got like a dark sense of humor and fucking like a
Yeah.
banter with you, and he moves like a fucking gorilla. It's fucking like insane.
Yeah, when he finishes what his charges are, when he's like, you're wanted by the queen for, what does he say? The murder of 12 men, 6 women, 4 children, 3 goats, and a rather nasty massacre of poultry. And he like finishes it off for him. Like,
he's like proud of it. Yeah, he's just yet again, just like back to the theme of mustache twirling villain evil, just completely irredeemable.
Like when
And,
he eats the cigar.
yeah, just and yeah, he's like talking about like eating fucking like Van Helsing and shit. It's great. And yeah, then we get a pretty fun, extremely Batman style fight scene. I mean, he's Batman.
Straight up.
Like he's
This is almost like they did an alternate universe Batman, like in medieval era, because
yeah,
almost all of his gadgets are like, could have been, other than the crossbow, could have been
yeah.
a Batman gadget. But yeah, he covers him up in the bell and you hear the spinny blade noises, lifts it up
Yep.
and there's a hole, but he's hiding up in the bell, chops his fucking arm off.
He's got like these like those little squeezy fans that you see like for sale in places, but they have like buzz saws in them. They're really fucking dangerous. It's great.
Realistically, Van Helsing should be missing at least a couple fingers from using these all
Oh
the
yeah.
time.
No, beyond that, like the fucking like harpoon gun fucking grappling hook that he fucking has.
The fucking range on that gun is ridiculous, by the way.
Oh my god, like later it's like, dude, that tree is like 5 football fields away, and it's like perfect middle shot. Even this, because he's fighting let's get Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That's
It's
like,
Hyde.
fucking
Yeah.
murder on my dyslexia, and it's gonna be a fucking problem for the rest of the night. It's like it's a man who's 2 men. Yeah, but yeah, he gets like thrown into the roof at one point, and Jekyll throws him off, and he's able to like harpoon through the chest at from like the height of Notre Dame. So that thing's like a fucking spear gun.
Right. It's so far, and it goes through his chest, doesn't kill him. And then I'm gonna just pay attention through the plot of this movie. This happens way too many times. So much rope swinging that makes no sense with physics.
The only thing that
he goes through his chest, and then he yanks him up, falls off the other side of the building, swings the direction they were already going, while Van Helsing is still coming up in the air.
Yeah, I had to go back a few times. It's like, it feels like there's like a scene that was missing. There's like 6 seconds of physics that would make that make sense that we don't have.
Right. But then throughout this movie, there is so much goddamn rope swinging. It's insane.
The only thing I can think of is they had like a rig for it, like something that can capture a green screen rope swing really well. They're just like, okay, we just got to use the fuck out of this because it's expensive as fuck to build.
They fucking did. It's crazy.
No, the amount of time I have Tarzan in my fucking notes is like insane.
But he wins the fight. Pretty not cool of Hyde. He transforms as they're falling so that
he slams him. Yeah, he slams him through the stained glass window of Notre Dame Cathedral where they've been fighting this whole time. Yeah, and just like lands on the floor, and then you kind of realize now why fucking Van Helsing is always catching shit for fucking being a murderer, because apparently every fucking monster turns back into a fucking regular human when you kill him.
Well, but he transforms before he hits the ground, and I'm like, I feel like if Hyde had hit the ground, they would have been fine. But he transforms and they die. Asshole.
I guess the potion was wearing off, maybe. Like, I don't know.
Right. I forgot that it's a potion. They make a whole thing of it in League, but yeah, that makes sense. That it just that's some shit timing. But yeah. Yeah, they all yell murderer, and then we cut to Vatican City.
Yep. And what I can only describe as the most multicultural James Bond gearing up sequence I've ever seen.
It's fantastic. And this is something that I've seen, like, kind of shit on by people that review this movie. Is they're like, it's just medieval James Bond. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's like there's medieval Doom out, and it's awesome. Like, why are we complaining about these things?
Like, what the fuck? You got a medieval Q named Carl who's hilarious, and it's awesome.
Dude, like,
it's like D&D mixed with Batman mixed with James Bond.
Yeah, it's just, someone said, like, here's all the good things. We're going to stir it together, and here's a gunbow. That's what this movie is.
Yeah, it gives him a gas-powered crossbow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's so much shit. There's like nitroglycerin, like a gas-powered crossbow that puts like modern-day machine guns to fucking shame.
Right. Yeah, the daylight grenade too. When they're talking about it, it's like, I have no idea what it's for. I'm like, dude, come on.
It's like, bitch, you're about to go fight vampires and all right, cool. Yeah, I think that's really all he gives them at the moment. Like, there's other things they have. That's like what the only things they really focus on is like the crossbow.
Yeah, the priest drops a couple things here. He says he arrived with his memory lost, so that you get that exposition, and then he just starts giving him exposition about the organization for no reason, as if he doesn't already know it, that they've been around
as you
since
know
the dawn of mankind. Yeah, exactly. As you know, we've been around to keep safe from time immemorial. Nobody knows we exist. And I just want one time this scene to happen and the guy to go, why are you saying this to me?
He's worked here for 50 years. He knows this.
Right. I didn't lose my memory an hour ago.
Yeah, and then like they find out their whole mission apparently is I'm going to use Romany because the word they use apparently in this movie is now considered racist. Yeah. So there is a line of Romany people that have been assisting the Vatican for years, trying to basically kill Dracula and being unsuccessful, but like holding him off essentially.
Yeah, Valerius made a promise to God that he would kill Dracula, basically, to get his entire family line into heaven. And he basically says, if the last two die and they don't, they're all going to hell. I'm like, that's the reason for all of this? That's super fucked up.
But I guess it's like we get later on that like heaven and hell are real and all this shit. So it's just like, no, heaven is a real place and like they're not going to get there. We need to save them.
One quick little thing when he goes into, they like talk at a confession booth and he goes to leave and a gate slams down to keep him from leaving. I'm like, not super psyched that the Catholic Church has the means of trapping someone in a confession booth.
How many cages do we have hidden in this church? Don't worry about it.
A lot of stuff in this movie the Catholic Church should not be allowed access to.
Yeah.
Like knockout potions.
Just really, if you pay attention to the background, there's just like a cage with altar boys in it. It's like fucking...
Yeah, Carl casually mentions he has basically a grenade made from compressed magma from Mount Vesuvius and alkaline from the Gobi Desert and makes light source equal to the sun. He's like, this will come in handy how? And I'm like, you've been around since the dawn of time and you don't know about vampires?
Dude, beyond that, he says it can like roast a herd of like wildebeests or some shit like that. That is just like a fucking massive bomb. It's like, we're fighting monsters. I have this thing that can level a fucking city block. Should we bring it? Yeah, bring that.
I have a fucking handheld nuke. Okay, cool.
Oh, you have the actual holy hand grenade of Akatosh. Cool. Yeah. Put that in the bag.
But he says the last remaining two on the family line are Prince Velkin and Princess Anna, both super hot. And then...
Oh, yeah. No, Anna is like, I don't know like what the photographer told her when they were taking like her profile picture, but there's like a smoldering fucking like gaze into the...
Well, and then the first time you see her, literally the next scene starts with Prince Velkin tied to a post, sitting out his bait. He's like, Dracula and release you for a region. Come on. And then a werewolf comes and attacks. And then you get this like pan up shot that starts on Kate Beckinsale's ass cheeks in what I can only describe as medieval leggings.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I mean, Van Helsing stands out a little bit in that, like, he's wearing like armor and got like a duster and a cowboy hat and shit, but like, she does not belong here. Like, every time she's in a scene with like anyone else, it's like spot the main character in an anime. It's like that 100%. Bad.
Just her teeth. There's a part where she's talking and her teeth are so perfect. I'm like, that would never happen.
All the toothpaste in the village went to her.
Exactly. But one little tidbit, I'm sure people have heard before, but Kate Beckinsale said she absolutely... One of the things she hated about working on this movie was the corset they made her wear the entire fucking movie. It's just kind of weird because, not to be super shallow, she doesn't really have, like... She's not super well endowed up there, so I don't understand what the purpose of the corset was.
Well, I think it was to, like, it just enforced the aesthetic of the period, and then she went and fucking did Underworld, which was like that to the nth degree with latex. So
Yeah,
I
with
don't know, must have not
latex.
been
This poor girl.
must have not been that bad, or the paycheck was that good, so I don't feel that bad.
Right. I don't feel bad for her at all. She's probably
No.
she's rich as fuck and she's beautiful. I feel bad that she dated Pete Davidson, but other than that,
Yeah. She is actually a vampire, I'm pretty sure, too, because she
100%.
has not aged in the past 30 years, apparently.
Yes. Just ridiculously good looking. Like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's like
But
her,
yeah,
Selma
they're
Hayek, the
right.
chick from Constantine, like all vampires. Like they've not aged. Keanu Reeves, for that
And
matter.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fighting a werewolf baited into a cage. They all shoot the shit out of it. Vulcan's like, no, you need to use my gun because it has silver
Yeah,
bullets.
they fuck it up, dude. Like they shoot the fucking like cage down, basically. Like if they just chilled for a goddamn second and like looked for the gun on the floor, this whole fucking movie could have just been settled here.
Right. But no, they knock it down. The thing gets loose, chases Anna through the woods.
Oh yeah, Anna, yeah.
And there's a lot of chasms in this movie also. She goes
so many chasms with rivers. Like the entire world is built on cliffs next to river chasms.
Yeah. Which I've never been to Romania or Transylvania, but maybe it is all canyons. I don't fucking know.
All rendered in glorious PS2 graphics. That was one of the...
Dude, one of my notes was I'm pretty sure this was made on a PS1.
Yeah. Dude, it's like vertical rock face with like 20 polygons in it, and then someone put the water effect, like from whatever fucking app they were using to generate this. It's a weird thing because some of the things are so good. Like the werewolves look so fucking good.
Yes.
And to
they
me, like,
must have sunk all of that budget into that, which I get that needs to be good, but some of it's just ugh.
Yeah, some of the
but yeah, her brother jumps in front of the werewolf and
gets the shot off
over the edge.
Fucking props to him. Like fucking shoots the thing in the heart.
Which is more than I can say for Van Helsing, because if I had to give a percentage to his accuracy rating in this movie, it's got to be like a 12.
Oh god, yeah. That crossbow is just like probably like I want to see what his KD is, or like his shots fired versus hit. It's got to be insane. Right. And that entire village is gonna be picking arrows out of their fucking infrastructure for like years.
Seriously, but she hardly reacts at all to her brother dying. She like looks vaguely sad and says "God help us" and has one single tear, and I'm like, the fuck. He was like, that's my sister. She's just like
oh, lame.
Then we get a travel montage with the sweet music again of Van Helsing traveling to where they are. He's on a
It's just him like standing on a boat, completely being untouched by the storm and shit.
He takes a boat. They're riding horses through the mountains. And then later when they're traveling back, they take a carriage through all of it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, one thing I did notice that was fun. I don't know if this is a reference or it's an actual thing, but like when they're going back through a fucking Carpathia. It's like Vigo the Carpathian and fucking Ghostbusters.
What's that?
2.
I don't know what Carpathia is.
It's what, you know Ghostbusters 2?
Well, yeah.
The villain is Vigo the Carpathian.
Okay. It's been a very long time. I remember Ghostbusters 1 a lot more than 2, so...
That's fair. 2 is just like, let's make the same movie and try to catch lightning in a bottle again.
But they arrive and... Carl's asking what he remembers, and like he's like, surely you must remember something from your past. He's like, I remember fighting Romans at Masada. He's like, that was in 73 AD. He's like, yep. Just kind of move on.
And like, it's one of those things where it's like you haven't had this conversation at any point in like the fucking months-long journey to fucking get here.
You waited until right when you arrive where you've been trying to go for the many weeks of travel to start asking stuff. Yeah, the villagers are all being weird and like every single one of them is staring at them and following them.
Oh yeah, no, it's like they're ready to like fucking like peasant mob the second they see it. They're like handing out the torches and fucking like pitchforks in the background. Like,
which again, that has to be the only way they've survived.
Yeah.
And then Princess Anna, every time she enters a scene, she's
boots first,
vaguely sexually.
Yeah.
She's got hands on her hips and her leg like cocked out and standing up on something.
No, this whole fight scene that comes up, they basically like simulate sex. It's like she's like Hugh Jackman is eating her out at one point. Yes. Like it was just like, why? And then like they're flipping and I'm on top of you, and then you're right next to me. It's just like it's
so overdone, and it's never cool. It's never the effect anybody wants.
No.
She says we got to disarm you, and he's like, "The fuck you will."
Yeah, and right as everyone's about to like pounce on him, fucking they hear like the vampires screech in the distance.
Yeah, she says, "We don't need your help." He's like, "Are you sure?" And then fucking points his crossbow at her head
Yeah.
and shoots at them, and proceeds to hit nothing
Well,
for
no,
a
also
while.
yeah, I mean, it's his first time using it. To be fair, he's getting used to. He doesn't even know how to reload it in this fucking fight. He's like, it's not working.
Yeah, they one grabs Anna, and drops her, and then they roll, and she literally lands sitting on his face, and then they roll
Yeah.
again and again.
I mean,
I'm like,
to be fair, if the director pitched that scene to me with Kate Beckinsale, I'll be yes, and just
sure.
not question. So I understand why it happened. It didn't need to be in the final cut, but I understand why it happened.
Yeah. Carl's like, aim at their hearts, and I'm like, yeah, or just like a single part of them and hit them. And as soon as he says aim at their hearts, all of a sudden he's lighting up their wings, and I'm like, okay, he's zoning it in.
But yeah, he's showing like he's hitting these things, and they're just like fucking like plucking them out, like they're just fucking annoying. Like,
yeah, yeah, they eat a villager, and then the sun comes out. And they disappear. And he does this like pan over while everybody's like, is everything okay now? And you can see hundreds of arrow bolts in everything.
Yeah. No, it's like Anna comes up from like behind a log and it's just like completely like sprayed with fucking arrows and like behind her and shit. Yeah, and God, yeah, what constitutes sunlight in this movie is like fucking like apparently it can only be like direct full sunlight, like unabated from the clouds. Because it was a cloudy day, vampires can go outside.
Right. Well, it vaguely reminded me of Strahd. As soon as that happened, I was like, this is exactly like Strahd, except the sun never comes out.
Yep. Yeah, and then they figure out that all the brides are hiding in the well, and they all fucking burst out as soon as the sun is blocked again. There's a lot of clouds moving in front of solar bodies in this movie and then moving away.
Yeah. The if they had a fucking weatherman, it would really help the monster planning in this movie.
Yeah, and Carl like goes like, I have holy water, use the holy water, and just like softball fucking lobs it.
Yeah, and then later in the movie, like 3 times in a row, he's a fucking like tier 1 quarterback all of a sudden, just throwing shit and everybody's fucking catching it perfectly. I'm like, man, like he could have done that way earlier in the movie and it would have been a lot shorter.
Yep, but yeah, he misses it. Like she slam dunks it. The bride that catches the water slam dunks it into the fucking well. They can't use it anymore. And we kind of cut between Van Helsing fighting the vampires and 2 of the wives just like mean girling Anna for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of off tone because for like that scene and that scene only, Anna's like not a badass and scared, and it didn't like click with the rest of the movie. But because she's like cowering in a corner and they're just talking all kinds of shit, and they're like, I want to bite her first, no me. And then Carl points to a fountain at a church, holy water. It's all right there.
Yeah, really, he should have like installed something on the front of this, like you know, those like little like drip tubes for like when like you lubricate like a fucking gear over time, just like one of those, just on the fucking tip of the arrows.
Or just infuse it with the gas power. Just toss in a tiny little bit of holy water into it.
So you were better at this job than Carl. But yeah, he like finally hits her like with the holy water guns and just like staples her to a fucking like top of the church.
And this is like the first taste of like really bad PS1 CGI as she transforms and dies. Awful.
Yeah, they're better later on, but this one was pretty bad.
If I just tell myself it was because they really, really wanted to nail the werewolf shots, I'm okay with it, because the werewolf shots make the fucking movie.
Well, I mean, you think about it, that fur, like, I think this was before Monsters, Inc., like, I think, and, like, they have, like, moving dynamic fur on these, like, fucking werewolf models, which is
it might have been, but yeah, no, that's... When they want to nail it, they nail it. It's really good and really ahead of its time. But, like, this scene is definitely one of the ones where you can see they were just like, just fucking do it, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of those things, like, we had good CGI at this point. We didn't have good human CGI at this point.
Right, exactly. Kind of like drawing hands. It was just really hard to figure it out on humans.
Yeah. It's like actual skin tone is why we had Toy Story, is like everything looked plastic, because that's like the best we could fucking do to make shit look like human at that point.
The villagers all start making noise, but they're not cheering. They're pissed, and they're like, vampires only kill to survive. They take like 1 or 2 of us a month. Now they're going to fucking kill all of us. And they're like, who are you? And Anna knows who he is, says he's Van Helsing. And like, first one to kill a vampire in 100 years, I'd say that's earned him a drink. And then we cut to Dracula, who is a fucking tech bro, apparently, because he wakes up in a cold bath.
Yeah, and just like...
Which makes sense. It doesn't get explained why it's ice. I don't understand why his bed's ice, though. Like, there were parts where he, like, fades into ice, and I'm like, what is that? And then they do explain it, but I don't know why his bed's ice.
Yeah, I don't know. But, he, like, explodes, like, in a dramatic fucking fury. Just, no! oh.
And this is the part where he does his
Yeah.
like the most softest little theater kid jump down, just oh.
Yeah, and his wives are hanging upside down, which I didn't know upside down corset was a thing, but it's a thing.
Yeah, it does them a lot of favors.
Yeah, the amount of tape that must have been used in that scene was just like an entire roll of like the highest grade duct tape to keep things in position. But
yeah, he doesn't
they're
give a shit. He's like,
yeah, it's like, don't you have a heart? He's like, no, like, I don't feel love. What the fuck? Like, don't you know me, bitch? Like, I don't feel anything.
right. How is this even a question? He says, soon the final battle will begin, and a werewolf roars behind him. He said, we will have to make a little aperitif out of him. And I had to Google what the fuck that meant.
Yes,
And it's like a
pre-meal.
Yeah, barely
Pre-meal
alcoholic drink. Yeah, never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, the last experiment was a failure. I cannot bear the sorrow if we fail again. And then they all scream again. And I'm like, what was with all the fucking screaming?
I mean, they know each other's vibe. That's if nothing else.
And Igor from the beginning of the movie, who was a traitor, forgot to mention that, but he's here and just picking on the werewolf, tasing it. He's like, Igor, why do you torment it? He's like, it's what I do. It's like, okay, dick, what the fuck?
And it's like, remember the golden rules. They do unto others, but what do they do to me? Yes.
Igor's a huge piece of shit in this movie, which is a translation I've never seen before from the Frankenstein story. But now they're Princess Anna's, and you see they're looking at a giant map.
Yeah, apparently this was like their ancestral home. Like Dracula used to live here when he was alive, and it's just stuffed to the brim with fucking like books and weapons and armor and secrets.
So many weapons.
Yeah, looks like it'd be a fun place to grow up, honestly.
Yeah, no shit. There's so many cool weapons. And yeah, the maps and tools and all kinds of shit.
Oh, speaking of maps too, one thing we forgot to mention is when he's getting loaded up by fucking Carl in the beginning, he gets like this little scroll. It's like the corner of like a fucking piece of like something larger, and it's got like he's got a ring, and it's like got the same symbol on there as his ring. So it's like, ooh, mystery. Forgot about. They're kind of suiting up, and Van Helsing says like this is too dangerous for a woman, and just darts fucking Anna in the neck, which he does a few times in this movie.
He has a spray. He like sprays her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, spray. Yeah, it's like spray.
And again, I was like, Catholic Church should not have that.
Yeah, like here's the roofie spray. It's like, why is that a part of the standard kit? Like, why?
Yeah, super not cool.
And also, why? Because
that's what I was about to say. He just moves her to her bed. Super questionable why she's in her bed now. But
was he just like annoying him? He's just like, shut up.
Yeah, he doesn't leave or anything. He's not like, I'm going to go fight him now. He knocks her out. And when she wakes up, they're there still.
They're still there, yeah. It's like not like they went off to fucking go do something that like was too dangerous for her. She's just like, you're a woman, go to sleep. All right. Then we get what I will argue is one of the better werewolf transformations I've ever seen put on screen.
It's fantastic. What kills me though is he's got time while there's clouds over the moon, and he's like, I came to tell you Dracula's secret. It's
yeah,
and it starts transforming, and I'm like, really? And then he goes,
really go, werewolves can
run.
Like you had
time to scream run, but you couldn't just quickly get out what the fucking secret is.
Yeah. Or have a note. Well, I guess he doesn't. Well, I know he has pants, so you're gonna put the note in the pants. I don't know, man.
Well, that's the other weird thing. He shows up in werewolf form with clothes on, transforms back, and then when he transforms again, he rips his clothes off. And I'm like, what? But all that aside, amazing transformation. It's so cool. He they rips his skin off, the hair starts coming out. And even when they transform back, they rip that skin off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like total body horror and like just like the clicking and moving of the bones. Like I'll say it's probably the best transformation of the evening because we get to Hyde's, which looks good, but it's like, okay, we're going to cut to this suit, and we're going to cut to this suit, and we're going to cut to this suit.
Right. And even once they transform the way the werewolves look, I've always loved this version of a werewolf compared to other ones because it's
linebacker werewolves, dude. They're just like fucking like
yeah. Yeah, they're truly terrifying. Like their eyes and everything
there's no sexiness to these werewolves. You're just like, these are predators.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not cute, cuddly little dogs. They are fucking horrific. But Van Helsing runs in. Wolf jumps out the window, and he immediately is like, we're fucking killing this thing. And Carl tosses some silver bullets on his way out the door. Like, not a moment's like, who's that? Why was it here? He's just like, werewolf, killing it.
Yep. Carl's like, yep, bullets. Just like such a good
They're like,
team.
this we've done a lot.
Yeah, like an entire group of fucking peasants failed where he's just gonna go like, all right, yeah, like not even a fucking inconvenience.
Now he's walking through a shitload of fog looking for the werewolf. We see the creepy mortician again. He like hides next to a coffin, and the dude is standing in the coffin next to him.
Yeah, it's just chilling. That's what he does on a Tuesday. Just coughing, chilling.
Starts talking a little bit of shit. He's like, it's a little late to be digging graves. He's like, it's never too late. You never know when you'll need a fresh one. And like Van Helsing turns around because he hears something, and he goes to hit him with a shovel, and he catches it. He's like, it's just my nature. And then a wolf just fucking
Yeah, just wrecks him into a fucking grave.
But he goes to shoot the werewolf, and Anna knocks the gun away, and he just straight up goes fucking chokes her. And he's like, you bitch.
How dare you? Yeah, basically it's just like, why? Well, I mean, I guess it's like valid. Like fucking, we find out later Dracula can like control people's minds and shit. So
yeah,
could be something going on there.
But he says he's not your brother anymore, and she's like, did you know that before or after you shot at him? He's like, before. And then they get in a big old fight, and she's like, they say Dracula has a cure. I'm gonna go after it. And he's like, all right, I'll help you look for your brother. We get a little cut scene of Igor and Dracula turning on the coils, and I put several times in my notes, seriously, are these sand people? Like the little Dorgy, they are straight up sand people.
Yeah, this is the Jawas from another mama, basically. It's just like,
for anybody that hasn't seen Star Wars, I am not being racist. There is sand people in Star Wars that look like the Dorgy.
No,
like I just want to make that clear.
The Durgi look like if the Jawas and the sand people had a baby. That's exactly what the Durgi are.
Yeah. Dracula looks even more emo, walking around with his arms in like this, like, how long until you're ready? And I'm like, good Lord. Oh, the fucking edgelord emo boy Dracula.
Yep. And then I think while they're, so we get to the point they're tracking the wolf back through the forest that attacked them, and they lead them back to Castle Frankenstein, and Anna's like, yeah, there shouldn't be lightning on in there. That was abandoned like a year ago after the last like peasant revolt.
Right. She drops a little thing here where she says he's talking about how they came on a ship. She's like, I've never been to the sea. I bet it's beautiful. I've always wanted to see the sea. That becomes important.
Just a little throwaway line.
Yeah.
As they close in the castle, they realize that Dracula's using the werewolf to revive his born dead children.
Yeah, they don't live long enough, and werewolf boy transforms back into Prince Velkin, and he's like, leave my sister out of this, and he's like, I'm just using you, and shows him his father's burnt up corpse, and like, he wasn't strong enough. I'm hoping the werewolf venom in your veins, you'll be more beneficial. And they start strapping him up to use him as the power source.
Catalyst, yeah.
And again, Dracula just does this fruity little dance after he straps him up, where he just dances around a little while he's screaming. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy?
Loves how evil he is. He is so evil that he must dance.
I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just so funny. When the Dwergy walk by, and Anna apparently speaks Dwergy, and she's like, they're using my brother in some sort of experiment to revive his young. I'm like, first of all, bitch, how do you speak this language, and how did mean all of that?
It's a very condensed language, and they specifically said my brother's name, that they're using him in experiment at this exact moment. I mean, to go, it's like they're carrying cables. That'd be like me going like fucking like, so we're gonna take these cables, take them to the stage, we're gonna plug them in so the amplifiers can be connected to the guitars. Yeah, it's like that's not.
Exactly. I was like, why were they just walking around and talking about the exact piece of information she needed?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Like there's a lot of like, like this almost does feel like a D&D campaign in a weird way, where some things where it's like, fuck the party, fuck this up, so I need to fucking put something really easy in front of them to get back on track.
And they find the egg sacs that are super disgusting giant boogers. And,
the great thing is I did like a haunted maze of this when I was a kid in fucking Universal Studios, and you had to like walk through those. And they were all kind of like slightly tacky and shit. It was great.
No, it's so gross. And she's even reacting the whole time he's touching them the exact way I would react, where she's like, this is fucking gross.
And he's just like ripping into it, just like taking chunks out. And then like fucking behind her is like the fucking like face hugger fucking pod opening slowly and silently.
And then it was about here where I was like, wait a minute. So when these vampire brides gave birth, were they pushing giant boogers out of themselves? Because that's even more gross.
I'm okay. Like, at least I'm hoping it's like a fucking like, they at least like make the cocoon afterwards kind of a thing.
I hope so.
And also, how much are they banging? Like,
yeah. Yeah, so many nasty questions here that I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it smells bad, whatever it is.
Yeah. there's like thousands of eggs later in the movie. It's just like, how long
Yeah.
y'all been at this? What's the turnaround on this fucking, like, what's the refractory period on this? Jesus Christ.
When they come out, I call them bat pyres for the rest of the movie because they look
Yeah.
like little bats, like skin bats with a little tiny vampire face. And they're unleashed on the village, and Dracula's like, go teach them to feed and beg the devil that this time they stay alive. Like cries a little bit. I'm like, oh. And now Helsing has 100% accuracy when shooting babies, apparently. He's just fucking goose, just fucking
not only
destroying
that,
them.
he busts out a shotgun for like one fucking time out of like, he's just out there shotgunning babies just to fucking taunt Dracula. Like,
why is a gas-powered crossbow crazy to you when you've had a full-blown sawed-off shotgun this whole time?
Yeah, no, it's just like, it's one of, and it doesn't come up again. He just fucking has a boomstick just to fucking baby boom. Just like, it's like, Dracula, bitch, killing your babies.
Dracula sees him doing this, and he's like, now that I have your attention, takes off running. You see a little cutaway of Carl is reading every book ever made at the Valerius Castle. And Bat Pyre hits the window, and he goes, well, that's not good. And I just love his voice in this movie.
Oh, yeah. And just sees like hundreds of them fucking flying past the window to the village. And to his credit, he like runs and tries to fucking help. He doesn't cower in the castle.
I love that.
And he gets rewarded for it.
Oh, yes. Boy, does he. Dracula's walking around looking for Van Helsing and says, you can tell the character of a man by his heartbeat. When I approach, I can dance to the beat. And I'm like, you dance to everything.
He's like a little samba. Like, yeah. He's just a dancey Dracula. He's just got to move all the fucking time.
It says, strange that yours is so steady. And you hear Igor say that the human is insufficient and we're losing power. Villagers are getting picked off left and right. Cigar drops from the ceiling, and then Helsing drops and stakes Dracula. And,
it's clean. Like any other monster that would have done it.
Right.
Yeah.
And he reacts to it. I like that he doesn't just completely shrug it off.
Yeah. Shit. He's like, he like fucking pulls the fucking silver stake out.
And then he says, hello, Gabriel. And then Dracula's dumping some lore, and he's like, how long has it been? 300 to 400 years? He's like, you don't remember, do you? We have so much history, Gabriel. Have you ever wondered why you have such horrible nightmares, horrific scenes of ancient battles past? How do you know me?
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah's unstrapping Velkin. He tells her to stop, and she doesn't listen ever in this movie. And then he grabs her head and starts transforms into a giant paw. Yeah. I'm like, just listen to somebody one time.
Yeah, I think after this, she finally says like, okay, yeah, you were right.
Yeah, she does, straight up. And then totally forgets that later in the movie, but yeah, she does. Helsing pulls a cross on Dracula. And instead of the whole, that means nothing to me, it actually does something, just not enough.
Yeah, but he just fucking face tanks it. He just fucking like grabs it. Just like, the fucking whole thing just like melts in his hand. I'm like, oh, shit. It's definitely one of those, like, that's like an escalating threat thing. It's like,
so how did he know a cross was going to do something to him, but he had no idea why generated sunlight might be useful? The fuck? He says, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am Count Vladislav Dracula, born 1422, murdered 1462. Carl is trying to help the villagers, and then since the power runs out, all the bat pyres start exploding. Some more dramatic screaming from the vampire brides.
I think that's what distracts Dracula, which lets fucking Van Helsing escape.
Yeah, this is when he shoots a grappling hook a fucking country mile across a chasm.
Oh, God, yeah.
And then he swings on it. He should have hit the cliff.
No, you don't understand. He found the world's tallest sequoia. At the very tip.
I guess.
No, yeah, like the Pythagorean ain't theoreming on this fucking one. Like, it's
no. I rewound to make sure that I saw it right, because it's cliff, shoots across, swings
laterally, like,
over to the other side.
Yeah, the only way that works is if like that tree is on an island floating in midair in the middle of this fucking like chasm. Oh God, and like just
Velkin's the one that cuts the line, and he falls into the river again. Werewolves love falling in rivers. One of the village girls, who's like actually pretty, kisses Carl, says, how can I ever repay her? And he whispers very briefly in her ear, and she says, but you can't do that. You're a monk. He says, actually, I'm just a friar. And I'm like, what did he whisper that guarded that reaction in such a short amount of time? Like,
oh, you know, it only takes one word. Yeah, it takes one word.
You can stomp on my balls.
No, just anal.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I'm a friar. And she goes,
Yeah. Well, he knows he's in the
Good for
Catholic
him.
Church, so he probably knows butt stuff. So
We cut to bride screaming, crying again for the millionth time.
yeah, like
I
full
put,
on
do you just,
like
you must become the most theatrical person on earth when you're turned, because
I guess you gotta
it
keep it
shows that,
interesting,
and
man.
then we pan out to where we're focused on Dracula, and in the background, they're still screaming,
They're still
and
voguing.
swaying, but there's no noise. They're
No.
just pantomiming screaming. Exactly. They just all get a minor degree in theater the moment they turn
Yeah.
into a vampire, I guess.
I guess, or you're an immortal and you're like, okay, for this next 50 years, we're just gonna be like drama nerds. Like that's the
Yes.
vibe we'll try to cultivate, and then we'll figure out after, like, we'll reconvene in 50 years to see what we're doing next.
Igor says it would appear the doctor took the secret of life to his grave, and Dracula looks at Vulcan and Igor and says, "Kill them both." Thunder. Anna is giving Helsing shit for trying to kill Dracula, and she's like, "We've tried stakes, we've tried all that." And he's like, "You could have told me that earlier." And I'm like, "Seriously though, you could have told him that earlier."
Well,
He's
to be
here
fair,
to kill.
she could have told him that earlier if she wasn't drugged and like fucking thrown onto her bed. Because the order of events here are he shows up, drugs her, passed out for a while, werewolf shows up, and they're sprinting after the werewolf. Like she had no chance to tell him anything. He's just like, and you sleep nuts.
And then, yeah, she says, "You're right, he's not my brother anymore." And I'm like, "Cool, you're on the same page." And then later, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yep.
And she's like, "Let's drink some absinthe." And he's like, "Here, wear my hat. Let's get drunk."
And then they fall through the floor of the fucking windmill that the Frankenstein's monster was burned in. And we fade back in on fucking post-nut clarity Friar Carl.
I put in all caps, "Carl, you fucking player."
Yeah. So he wakes up like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I got laid last night. Oh shit.
And then like leans on a sconce to be like, "Yeah," and then triggers a fucking hidden compartment.
And if Friar Carl had not got whatever was done to him, they would have all died because they wouldn't have had the secret to fucking killing Dracula. that right there saved the day.
It was my penis to save the day. It
God
reveals a
works
painting of two
mysterious
men
ways.
sword fighting with an inscription that says, "Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf. When the wolfbane blooms and the moon is shining bright, will crave another's blood when the sun goes down and his body takes to flight." And then the painting animates, and one turns into a werewolf and one turns into a vampire. And it takes forever for them to figure out what the fuck that means.
Yeah. They're just like, I have no idea what that means. It's like, I mean, really? Like, you just
He's
saw
like,
the
"To be
vampire
honest,
and the
I'm
werewolf.
just taken aback by the first live painting I've ever seen." Even though they
first
have a
video.
projector at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. They have an overhead projector and like fucking like, 4K fucking resolution photos, these people.
Anna wakes up, Helsing covers her mouth and says, "There's something down here." And he's looking at the tracks. And he's like, picks up a Bible. Appears to be human. I'd say size 17, 360 pounds, 8 to 9 feet tall, bad gimp in the right leg, and 3 copper teeth. She's like, "How'd you know about the teeth?" "He's right behind you." Like,
yeah.
really?
It's like, there's so much shit behind Anna in this movie. Just the amount of times.
It's Frankenstein's monster. Van
There's
Helsing
some show
literally
I watched
splits
for-
his fucking wig. His like face starts
Oh,
falling
yeah.
apart.
Like fucking like splits. It's a great practical effect too. Again, it's just,
Yes.
yeah.
Super cool. And he says, "If you value your lives, kill me, because I'm the key to the machine." They want children. They need me to give them lasting life. And there's thousands.
Yeah, and he's like,
more.
I'm fucking innocent. I've literally never done anything wrong in my entire 2 weeks of existence. Like, why the fuck?
And then he
is everyone trying to
passes
kill me?
out, and Anna's like, "Kill him." And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Thank
Oh
God."
no, he doesn't pass out. Fucking Van Helsing gets his roofie kid out again and fucking like shoots him in
Right.
the neck with like a dart. Yeah.
And yeah, she's
Van
like,
Helsing's
"Let's
got a lot
kill
of
him." And
roofies.
he's like, "He's not evil." And she's like, "I can't do that." And she's like, "Well, I can." He's like, "Not while I'm fucking here." And I'm like, "Yeah, tell her ass." Like, fucking asshole.
Yeah, and he says like apparently he can like sense evil. It's like it's a throwaway line, but I guess it kind of
Right.
relevant to what he is later, which they
And
never
then,
really explicitly explain. But whatever.
You see Velkin's been in here in werewolf form the whole time watching. I'm like, "How the fuck did you miss that?" And he just takes the fuck off.
Yeah, oh shit.
like-
Well, they know where the fucking Frankenstein's monster is now. I guess we gotta fucking get him to Rome to be safe.
And we get another map montage of the travel. And this is what I was talking about earlier. How the fuck are they doing this all with a carriage
Yeah.
now when they needed
Which
so
is
much
not far
shit?
too. It's like it's the thing with like when you do the Indiana Jones flight line. I think it's funny because it goes from like the U.S. to like London to Cairo to fucking India. It's like fucking jumping across the world. This one goes like, across like one little country. They didn't make it that far. They didn't really need to show us the map.
Something's flying in the woods. It's one of the brides, grabs Van Helsing, flies up with him, and then he gets loose and lands perfectly on a horse. And then we get canyon number 3 of the movie. And they jump the fucking canyon with a carriage.
Yeah, this is like a fucking like Fast and the Furious level bullshit of jump. Like it's like the horses like accelerate upwards at an angle somehow.
Right, they turn
like,
into
they're not
Santa's
jumping.
reindeers for a moment.
Yeah. And like they make it the fucking the caravan gets like fucking knocked off and falls into chasm number 3.
And then like
and the wives go,
the planning that
again.
went behind making that happen perfectly is
oh yeah, the timing on that like fucking must have been tight.
right. Yeah, because the carriage falls and then they're like, we need the monster, so they're flying down to get into the carriage, and it's just filled with a bomb and a bunch of stakes.
Yep. And one is able to get away, but the other just gets like fucking shredded by like fucking silver stakes.
Super, like the first giant frag grenade ever made.
Yep. Van Helsing sees the werewolf come over the top of the carriage and does like a fucking 180 jumping John Woo double heart shot.
Yes, super cool. But yeah, at some point in there, I guess he gets bit because it's revealed pretty quickly after this.
Yeah.
Belkin dies, and Anna's angry at Van Helsing, even though she literally just agreed with him 2 scenes ago. And then she sees he's been bitten, and he starts backing away, and then the redhead vampire bride is here and bitch slaps the shit out of Anna.
Yep.
And then flies off with her.
Yeah, and then like 2 seconds later shows back up. Like
what the
narratively,
fuck?
I want to say it's like 15 seconds. Like it's like, all right, we got your bitch. So if you want her back, come trade her at this like Halloween party.
And fucking flies off. And Frankenstein sees that he's been bitten and says, now you will become that which you've hunted. May the others be as passionate in their hunting of you. Because he's pissed that they agreed to trade him. And Helsing tranks
then he darts him again. His answer is like, people start lip, just roofie fucking bag.
Exactly. Anytime you're having a remotely not fun conversation, you're like, and shut up. and stop talking.
It's definitely times I wish I had that power, but it's again, it's a questionable power to have.
They put him in a large tomb in this giant graveyard. Carl's dressed as a jester now, which is hilarious because Van Helsing's barely in a costume. He's just like in a black version of what he's been wearing the whole movie.
Yeah,
but Carl is in a fucking jester suit.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, no one's going to find him in here unless they have help from the dead. And then there's just like a dude in a coffin nearby. I guess, I don't know. Like, I don't, like, maybe it was a vampire. Like, maybe that's where they hang out during the day. Oh, yeah, it was Igor. Why was Igor in that specific coffin?
No fucking clue. No explanation either.
Doesn't say he was following. I mean, maybe they were following him at that point. I don't know. It's just fucking Igor's chilling in that grave and just heard the whole conversation. So
right. I think he was just being weird and just happened to be there. But they say they have 48 hours to find a solution for the bite. And yeah, Igor gets out of a coffin as they walk away. And then we go to the ball, and it is the most color. You see it in the entire fucking movie.
Yep,
lots and lots of pretty dresses, reds, yellows, golds. Dracula's dancing with Anna. And you don't figure it out for a minute that she's like under a spell, but he like takes their masks off and they're just full on making out, and he's full on grabbing her titty.
Yeah, it gets a little grapey here.
Very grapey, yeah. And he's like, how does it feel to be a puppet? I have no intention of trading you, and Van Helsing has no intention of trading either. Neither of us has ever settled for half. And he dips her in front of a mirror, and when they look in the mirror, you only see Anna, because he's a vampire. But is the furniture also vampires? You don't see any of the furniture.
The entire party is. If you bite a table, like it just doesn't show up in a mirror anymore. But yeah, it also implies the entire party is vampires as well.
He says he's looking for a new bride. Van Helsing and Carl are up in the balcony watching the trapeze artist. And he's like, I have a plan. And
more bullshit Tarzan swinging. Because how does he get from that trapeze, which is going at the top, and then he swings all the way down to the ground level?
Nope. Doesn't make any fucking sense. He knocks out the trapeze artist, jumps on, and then somehow swings to ground level and picks up Anna. I don't fucking know, bro.
Like, it'd be one thing if it was like one time they fucked this up, but like it's like intentional, it feels. It's weird.
It's like Dracula's, or Van Helsing's only superpower is magical control of ropes.
Yeah. Which, I'll say, man, that's like some like fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like that's like probably an actually OP power kind of thing.
Yeah. Dracula
even
starts
if
calling Gabriel, and he says, "Welcome to my summer place," and everyone reveals that they are vampires, and Igor walks in with the creature.
Yep. And he's just like doing the like fucking full on like Shadow with the Valley of Death fucking prayer as they're fucking pulling him in.
Right. Yeah. Still being super dramatic also. He's like, "I give you Van Helsing." Everybody goes vampire mode. Carl has a daylight grenade, and he says, "Now I know what it's for."
Yeah, it's to kill vampires. And yeah, just like nukes 200-300 vampires in one shot.
Which was cool, but I was like, honestly, you think maybe you could have saved it for like when it would actually hit Dracula? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing here, but you were already jumping out the window.
Yep.
And then Igor and the Sand People have the creature in a rowboat rowing away. He says, "Say goodbye to your friends." And at this point, the creature looks so defeated, like so very, very sad. And if Frankenstein's monster is anything, it's very, very sad. Van Helsing says, "I swear to God, I'll set you free." And then they get trapped behind a gate. And Carl says, "You can't. I already told Rome about him, and they said you need to kill him." And I'm like, what the fuck, Carl? And then they go to Frankenstein's castle, and it's empty.
Everything's gone.
Like,
yep.
Yeah. Like, they must have taken it to his lair, wherever that is. And Carl's like, "I can find it." And they're like, "We've been trying this whole time." And he's like, "Well, I wasn't here for those 400 years. And to his credit, the next scene, he's like, "Got it."
Yeah, he's just like maps it all out. It's like, yeah, so in 1642, Dracula made a deal with the devil.
Oh, and they skip past something here that absolutely killed me. They are the fucking Catholic Church. If anything, they are trained. They are well versed in religion. And he just kind of skips past this, and they're like, "Do they know who murdered him?" And he says, "No." Some vague reference to the left hand of God.
Yep.
In the Bible, the left hand of God is an angel named Gabriel. Come on, dude.
Yeah, and they start putting together that this painting in the corner that Anna's dad used to stare at all the time is the actual physical door to his fucking castle, but like there's like a piece missing of the inscription that like is like the fucking spell to make the door open. They're like, "Wait, we have the MacGuffin," and just like fucking pull the scroll that they has from earlier in the movie. Yeah, but the whole mirror turns into like this like frosty like ice thing, which we've seen Dracula warping in and out of this whole time, so that's what that is.
Super cool effect. I do like the explanation. I like that he like transports through mirrors, and that's why you can't see him. It's really cool explanation.
They enter it, and they enter Dracula's castle, which I think it's mostly CGI, but it looks good. Like it's like massive, intimidating, and this like giant ice spire in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Looks really cool.
Like the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing I found out originally is that fucking Dracula's dad sent him there after he became like immortal. To like lock him there, and then the devil just like, "Okay, here's wings, you can leave."
It was such a funny explanation. And so the devil gave him wings.
That's the most fucking description we get about what happened.
When Carl walks through, I was like, "Carl, you stay your ass back at the castle. You don't need to be here." And he tries to run back twice and can't.
Yeah, just slams over the fucking wall.
Poor bastard. But he's actually one of the fortunate ones.
Man, TJ's like, he helps. Like, fucking Frankenstein would have probably died if he wasn't there.
Right. And then they look up at the castle, and Van Helsing is just feeling himself, I guess, and grabs both of them and fucking jumps up to the fucking castle.
Yeah, just like fucking leaps over this like fucking like 80-foot tall gate. Just like,
it was amazing.
No problem. It's like, I didn't know I could do that.
I'm like, what would happen if that hadn't worked? If he grabbed them both and was like, all right, never mind. I thought maybe that would do something.
But yeah, he just jumps in, and I think like right at that moment, like Igor is just fucking walking across the fucking entryway, right?
Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you just got like some like cable going somewhere, like, "Oh shit, like that's impossible. You can't be here."
Yeah, he's in the middle of bitching about having to do all the work around here, and then they hit him with the buzzsaw, and then he's like, "Don't kill me," and he's like, "Why?" He's like, didn't expect a follow-up.
Yeah, they go and interrogate him, and he reveals that there is a werewolf antidote inside the building somewhere.
Right.
And then they make the very wise decision to split the party.
Yeah. You see Frankenstein getting pulled up in a block of ice. I have no idea why he's in a block of ice, but yeah, he bends the bars, shows some more werewolf strength, and Carl finally puts it together that a werewolf is the only thing that can kill him. That's the only reason Dracula would have a cure here for werewolfism.
It's also why he like mind controls everyone that ever exists, so they can't fucking like defy him. But we've been told that like in the early science parts of a transformation is the only time a werewolf can defy Dracula's will.
Yes.
Which is why it's like, oh, they're so hard to control when they're young.
And they whittle it down to like 12 seconds. Like, I guess the time frame in which he's going to transform gives him only a little bit of time to where he's going to have free will. They're like, as soon as the bell tolls midnight, you can kill Dracula, but you have to do it before the final toll. And I'm like, that's
Yep.
a really vague amount of time. What if it's a clock that tolls faster than other clocks?
Well, one thing I was thinking of when watching this too, it's like, thank God they didn't enter a different time zone when they went through that fucking portal.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Fuck, it's daylight savings time here. That's incredible. And now we're finally into the final act. And this is the part where, you know, by now I'm half asleep on my desk, like, please just wrap it up. They're strapping up Frankenstein. Dracula basically says, quit bitching. This is literally what you were made for, which is, he's not lying. And they lift him up to the roof for lightning. And I'm like, what if there hadn't have been a storm right now? Like, would that have fucked literally everything up?
Convenient. Or maybe it's always a storm at Castle Dracula. Who knows?
Right.
And come back to Igor and Carl found like the antidote chamber, which is a really big room just to hold one syringe.
Right.
He's got
In a giant snow globe.
Yeah. And like the standard thing, and like Anna, so like Anna goes up to it and she's like, you get it. She's like, I'm not putting my hand in some fucking unknown viscous liquid. Are you fucking insane? Which, fair, he's right. But like as they're talking, Igor just like takes like 2 steps backwards and like kicks fucking Carl into the room and fucking locks the entire fucking room with them in there.
No fucking situational awareness with these two.
No. Like he literally just like, he's like, wait, they're not looking at me? Whatever.
And at this point, they start cutting back and forth a lot between Van Helsing trying to
like
get Frankenstein free and these two dealing with the last vampire bride, and who now has a predator mouth, by the way.
Yeah, she's got it's like fucking outside fucking fangs.
Yeah.
And mash the vial into her face, and apparently the whole vial is filled with acid, and it just like fucks her up for like 30 seconds and just fucking heals.
That was where I typed the PS1 graphics when her face like heals back, and I'm like, oh my God, that was
It just
awful.
literally looks like they had like her face with makeup on, her face without makeup on, and they just hit like the transparency fucking switch between them.
Yeah, a whole bunch of cutting back and forth. Bride's face is melted. She says, you can't go till I say you can go, and I say you can go, and you're dead. And I'm like, whoever wrote this sucks.
Yeah,
and then she Wonder Woman spins to blow out all the torches.
Yep. And I think, and then we cut to, she threw the syringe to Carl, who's now like trying to get it to Van Helsing in time, and him and Igor like fucking meet on the bridge, and he's just fucking like running from fucking Igor.
This part made me laugh, dude. He's chasing him with basically a cattle prod, like, come here.
He's like, no, come on. These two super athletic people.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is doing the Matrix, and they're just like fucking having a slap fight, basically.
He's like, get away from me! Stop it! We get the big bolt of lightning while he's trying to set Frankenstein's monster free. It hits both of them, and then a huge shockwave goes through the castle and all the eggs. And Dracula's like, give me life! And says, 1 more volt, and my young will live. And he looks up and sees Van Helsing trying to get Frankenstein free.
Yep.
Transforms into like, Super Dracula.
Yes, he morbs.
Yes.
He morbs hard.
And then they immediately get the last volt, like right after that. There's not like a huge gap in between. He's getting him. He's got all of the locks done except for the one around his ankle, and then
blast him down to the floor and like blast Frankenstein off the fucking roof.
Right.
And then Frankenstein grabs. Yeah, God, the order of operations just gets fucking insane. It's like so much shit like Rube Goldberg's into each other at the end here. But then Frankenstein falls from the roof, grabs a cable, Tarzan's again with questionable physics, takes out Igor while they're fighting the bridge, somehow he comes down this way and then somehow wraps this way around the bridge.
This scene alone has like 2 or 3 separate people doing this. Oh, also the bride has the predator mouth and then also has predator vision now. She's like fighting Anna and turns on predator vision to see her in the dark.
Yeah.
And has the biggest tongue ever and licks on her. And Frankenstein swings in, fucking drills her across the room. But my God, they love the fucking rope swings. And then
I know.
Cut back to a kind of kaiju fight. Van Helsing finally transform, and I'm like, yes, here we fucking go. And Dracula says, this cannot be. And the fight is dope. I'm not going to try and explain all of it, but it's so cool.
Yeah, it's like visceral and fucking like they're like throwing each other fucking everywhere and like like Dracula's like trying to bargain with him while also trying to rip his throat out. It's fucking great.
Yeah, you can see
like, "We can
real
be
fear in
partners."
his eyes for the first time in the
Yeah.
movie, and it's beautiful. And Frankenstein's whooping up on the bride's ass and says, "Go help Van Helsing." And she says, "Thank you." And he looks like it means the entire world to him that somebody says
Yep.
thank you to him.
Then he just like lets the bride go like 30 seconds later.
Yeah, I hate when they do this in movies. He's like, "I'm going to stay back and fight." And it seems like he's got it. And then 2 seconds later, the person that he's supposed to be holding back is in chase. And
Yeah.
she does like a sweet rope swing again into a sweet backflip. And Carl throws the cure to her midair. And I'm like, man, that could have been the end of everything if he had missed slightly and it just went off into the fucking river.
Yeah. Which just happens a lot in this movie. So that river's got a lot of shit in it at this point.
And then Carl throws her a steak. And I'm like, God damn, he is batting 1,000 right now.
I know. He's like Carl built the support character in this fucking, for this campaign. Doesn't do a lot of active combat, but he fucking comes in clutch with the fucking items. And yeah, the bride gets her cornered like up on this like fucking like rooftop, and she's just like monologuing basically. And just like as she's like saying all these ways she's gonna kill her, she just like Anna just takes out the steak and fucking stabs her. And it's just like, if you're gonna kill someone, kill him. Don't fucking talk about it.
Beautiful. Love it. No notes. Van Helsing wolf grabs Dracula by the throat, then transforms back at the worst possible time.
Yeah, cloud goes in front of the moon. Same as vampire rules. It's got to be like direct fucking moonlight. If like a little fucking wispy cloud goes over it, you're fucking instantly human again.
He says, "Did I mention it was you who murdered me? It must have been such a curse to be the left hand of God. All I want is life and the return of my ring." And shows he's missing a finger. And I don't know what the fuck that had to do with anything. Why would he have murdered him when he wasn't a vampire yet?
I guess he was just a piece of shit.
Fuck, I don't know. I would have loved a little bit more there. I guess they're planning on more movies, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Van Helsing was a piece of shit.
they always portrayed it as like soldiers on opposite side in a war, so maybe it's just something as simple as that. But I mean, he's the left-handed god.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
transforms, tackles him, and rips his fucking throat out with his teeth. Real quick.
Yeah,
just like
bleeds
that.
black and just deflates and fucking turns to ash.
And then all the bat pyres explode and die. In a real bad move, which, becomes pretty apparent, Anna comes out and sprints directly at the werewolf with the cure in her hand, and he tackles her.
Yep.
Carl gets the giant silver steak ready and is like, damn it, I don't want to do this. Van Helsing catches his hand and then looks down, and the cure is in his belly. And
yep, and Anna is perfectly fine, but also dead.
Right. So weird.
Yeah. Like I said, I guess this like you got hit by like something like a fucking SUV, essentially. That's speed and size. It's just fucking.
Yeah. No goodbye. No, forgive yourself, whatever. She's just fucking dead. And
yep.
Get another classic werewolf thing that you don't see enough, where he's holding her and starts like sad howling and then morphs back into himself and is crying. Yeah. And then that's pretty much the end of the fucking movie. Right after that, you get 5 more minutes of shit. You get a funeral. She always wanted to see the sea. Carl's reading last rites as she's on a pyre by the sea. Frankenstein's paddling out to sea.
Yeah, and we see the actual soul, like her ghost spirit soul, and the souls
of
her family
ghost.
ascend to heaven, like just like not even like fucking in like a symbolic way. It's like, no, you see 15 people you haven't met before all disappear into the pearly gates. Like, it's like, okay, cool, this shit's all real, so I guess I'm working for the right side.
Anna's Force Ghost sheds a single tear up in the sky. It looks like one of those really corny in memoriam montages.
Yeah.
And
I had the fucking Tears of an Angel fucking song going through my head when I was watching.
I'm just super happy Carl survived at this point in the movie. I'm really happy he didn't die. And then, they ride off into the sunset. They play the awesome Van Helsing movie, and that's the end. Wait, no, that is the end. I'm thinking of League that has the other little thing at the end. But, yeah, let's get into League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And this one should go much quicker because, to be perfectly frank with you, the plot is not that intense. Yeah, this one starts with a Star Wars style text scroll that I liked that says essentially nothing.
Yeah, basically like war. It's the opposite of Fallout. Like Fallout says war never changes. It's just like war's changing.
Yeah, war's changing right now, right here.
Yeah. We open in like a foggy London street. I think like 1899 is when this takes place, like the turn of the century. And we get to see Bobbies versus Tank, which goes about as well as you think it is. And
Get Austin Powers style death.
yeah,
right out
I
of
was
the
gonna
gates,
say,
too.
man, yeah, it's got to be a reference because he's just like, no,
Yeah, he's like halts, and everyone runs, but that guy. Love it.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we get to see like a World War I era German like tread tank just like rip through a fucking bank.
And with vaguely World War II-esque Nazis almost.
Yeah, it's like they never say Nazis, and I don't know what their stance on the Jewish people is, but it
Right.
feels Nazi.
Well, I called the bad guy for the first part of this Doctor Doom / Red Skull because it reminded me of
Yeah.
Red Skull.
Yeah, and speaking of which, yeah, we see this masked man with like a metal like fucking MF Doom mask and a fucking like scarred ass face underneath, like just like start like taking blueprints, and we don't really know much about that. Then we see we cut to Berlin, and the same guy is like fucking up a Zeppelin factory in Germany, and like we cut to like all these headlines of like England's blaming Germany, Germany's blaming England, and then fucking the whole world's like on the brink of war, apparently.
Yeah, he hits the blimps with like the most primal version of a guided missile. It's literally a missile on a rope.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, this is not what we meant when we say guide by wire. This is like literally guided by a wire. Yeah. We
Dude,
then
real quick,
Kenya.
what we're about to say.
Oh yeah,
I laughed my ass off at this part that we're about to do because when he poses as Alan Quartermain, and he's like, "You come to hear my tales," and he's like, 5 seconds later, he's like, "Oh well, I'm Alan Quartermain," and they're sitting right next to each other and dressed exactly the same, and I'm like, "What the fuck was the point of that?"
I guess it's like this distract people just coming and asking him to tell them stories and shit. Like this guy just like gets off on that, and he just doesn't want to bother with people.
It's so funny though that he's not like across the room. He's just like,
no,
it's actually
he's
me.
not even like he's not even sitting in shadow. It's just literally like it's this much return. Actually, it's me. Like it's
it's so dumb.
Yeah, and we get this British envoy saying the world is on the brink of war and extraordinary individuals are needed. And while he's kind of giving the "Do you want to join the British Avengers Initiative" spiel, we get another group of the same kind of vaguely Nazi-esque soldiers from the beginning come in, and like a bunch of armed men with armor on say, "Hey, like, do you know who Quartermain is?" And he goes like, "Yeah, I'm Quartermain." And just fucking shoot his friend like in the fucking chest right there.
He says, "Wrong Quartermain." I'm like, dude, not the time.
You could have gotten away with this, man. I mean, I'm guessing they were going to kill everyone in there anyway.
Well, he didn't give a shit that they killed his friend. Also, when he's prattling on to the envoy guy, he's like, "I've lost white men and black." And I'm like, why did you say that?
It's like, why do we have to? Well, I mean, unfortunately, the more we find out about Sean Connery, the less is good.
Even in this movie, real bad.
Yeah, there's a few things where it's like, I think that was just him injecting his own opinion into this.
Okay, so one of the facts I'll just say now, the movie was supposed to be Dr. Harker's is the lead in the comics. She's the leader of this team and goes around putting the team together. And Sean Connery insisted that it can't be a woman. And so they made it him. Total douchebag.
There's some lines in it. He's just like, "You're a woman and you're driving. Oh my goodness, you're talking it to me." And
yeah, I'm glad he turned down Lord of the Rings and The Matrix and lost money doing this movie. You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, imagine fucking like misogynist fucking Morpheus, where it's like, "You need to save the world. You know, Trinity, shut your mouth."
Oh my god!
Go suck Neo's dick so he'll be motivated to save the world.
Just constantly slapping women for speaking.
Just Jackson in the Matrix, like it's like, what's he doing in there? Kung fu training? Oh no, he's just slapping women. Oh god, it's just like a line.
The woman in the red dress sequence is just him running through a crowd to slap her. You whore! Oh my god.
Oh man, we need to use AI for this. I don't know what the prompts would need to be to get fucking.
Yeah, it makes sense. This was his last movie ever because he's just a horrible person.
Yeah, like I don't give a fuck anymore at this point. He tries to like go badass and then with a revolver, and they just all bust out like assault rifles essentially.
Yeah, he reacts. He's like, "How the fuck do they have fully automatic rifles?" But what do you do when you're fighting superior firepower? You punch everyone because that's what he does,
and it works. Yeah, but he fucks all of them up. Like one guy gets it the worst. He gets like 2 tables and a rhino horn.
Yep, goes through all that armor, no problem.
Yep, it's a good rhino horn. And yeah, like last guy like tries to like run away, and fucking Quartermain just like picks him off at fucking like 400 yards, like just like injures him.
Yeah.
And they let him drag him all the way back to Quartermain before he takes his unalive self pill. And yeah, he's like, I don't really want to do it. And then like his entire clubhouse with all his friends in it explodes behind him. He's like, okay, I'll go with you.
No idea why it explodes. And then a quick shot of a grave marked Quartermain. And then, yeah, now we're in London, where everything's shitty. Raining. And he says, dress for an English summer, which is just rain, fog, gross.
It is not wrong, man. I've been there, and England is perpetually
I
damp.
assumed that this hit home for you when he says that.
Yeah, and they started going into this like subterranean government building, and he quips like, "Where are we going? Australia?" Like he just has like grandpa jokes the entire fucking movie.
Dude, and they're not even that funny. I'm like, can you just shut up and walk 10 feet? My God, dude, we're almost there. It's a building. We walk places.
Yeah, it goes down there, and like M's just trying to be all creepy in the fucking room by himself in the dark. He's like, identify yourself. Who is that? And yeah, we get like the head of the misogynistic head stands for misogyny.
Yeah, my underlings call me sir, and my superiors call me M. And I was like, I just love that James Bond is in another movie with someone with a letter for a name.
Hey, we had a Q and we have an M in this. It's great.
Yeah, they tell him he's the newest recruit to the League. He meets Captain Nemo. They give a brief rundown of these attacks are the work of a man named Phantom, and he's doing an arms race to get people to buy the weapons he's using to attack them, like a missile on a rope.
I mean, it's the first missile on a rope you've ever seen.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, they believe that the next target is going to be a peace conference at Venice that's trying to stop the entire world from going to war. And over the next few minutes, we get introduced to several of the Leaguers.
Yeah, I got Rodney Skinner, who is the not invisible man. Mrs. Harker is just the chemist.
Invisible man.
Yep. Yeah, an invisible man. Alan flexes his sexism immediately when Mrs. Harker comes in and says, please tell me this is Harker's wife. God damn.
Yeah, it's like, I thought your husband is late and you're coming to tell us.
And then, oh God, when they show up, they go outside and see Captain Nemo's car. That car is so dope. I want one.
Oh, it's so sick. I mean, it looks like it'd be a fucking actual boat to fucking try to drive that shit. Like, there's some points in the movie where like that shit drifts around a corner. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, 2 front wheels, no way. Sorry,
and
4 front wheels.
Yeah, 4 front wheels, and it's like apparently made of steel or some shit we see later in the movie. It's just like ramming through fucking stone fucking pillars at one point and like doesn't get a scratch. So yeah, that thing is a fucking beast.
Super cool though. 4 front wheels, 4 headlights. Q says women are a distraction.
The automobile. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I find women best are distractions. It's like, Jesus Christ, Sean Connery, can someone give Grandpa his medicine and just shut him up?
Yeah, she snaps back at him, but not enough. I honestly wish she had just bit him. They go meet Dorian Gray, who says he's not interested until he sees Mrs. Harker. Q notices a missing painting, which becomes important.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone knows the story of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, the book is literally called The Portrait of Dorian Gray. So,
right.
Yeah, and while they're in the mansion, just all the villain soldiers are there, and no one thinks that's weird already.
Right. They say something about Quartermain being indestructible, and he says a witch doctor blessed me that Africa would never allow me to die. And he points out they're not in Africa anymore, which ends up mattering.
Yeah. Oh, also to this point, we've seen like this like young blonde dude like shadowing the group and like following them. And then the Phantom appears like on the second level of this fucking library that Quartermain or that Dorian Gray has. They're all encircled with machine guns and armored troops. And then like one of them shows up and just like winks at him with like a different gun. It's like the young guy.
Different gun, different look entirely. Yeah. Why do all the Nazis have Kung Lao's hat? I was curious.
I think it's supposed to be like, I don't know if you've ever seen the World War I helmets, but like they're literally like fucking like dinner plates.
Just a little more intense, yeah. Oh, they also say something about Quartermain says he met Dorian once. They're like, oh, was Dorian an eager boy listening to one of your lectures? He says, I was the boy. And they're like, oh.
Yeah, implying that he's immortal or ageless or something. And yeah, before like, and that's when they all get fucking ambushed. And the Phantom shows up and basically says like, look, this is your one chance to join me or die.
Right. And he sticks out like a sore thumb. His look was dumb as fuck.
Yeah. It's got like a fucking like mink long coat with like armor in the front and like I said the MF Doom like fucking face mask, like
long ass hair, ratty ass face. It's just such a Saturday morning
scars.
cartoon. And then when the fighting breaks out, he
Yeah.
runs away immediately. And
Oh, every time he's a bitch. Like every time there's like conflict, it's like just shows him like trying doors and like trying to escape and shit.
And then you hear somebody say, they hint this real early. Somebody says, James, through here. Really, you barely catch it, but it gives away the whole plot if you catch it.
And then then the young man just like fucking sets it off and starts fucking shooting people.
He's dope, dude. And I love that Winchester rifle. Really cool looking.
Oh, yeah. And who he is cool. Yeah. Well, like I said, it doesn't matter. We're not going to spoil it. We find out momentarily that he is Tom Sawyer.
So
we're throwing a little American fucking lore into it.
Yeah, which they threw in because they thought this wouldn't play with
American audiences. And yeah, we get like our first little demonstration of like what everyone's good at. Like Quartermain's just like picking off motherfuckers left and right. Fucking the Invisible Man takes off all his makeup and starts beating people. Dorian Gray just like tanks a full clip of fucking like automatic ammunition to the fucking chest.
Yeah, he's fucking people up with his little sword. And guy tears apart his shirt on the way down and sees the bullet holes heal. And he's like, what are you? And he's like, I'm complicated. And I'm like, slay.
God, this whole time, though, I was like fucking like Dorian Gray was giving me such fucking Aldous Snow vibes like the entire fucking time.
A very sassy man, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Phantom also is having trouble finding a way out, but somehow snuck in here just fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we find out later, he's probably let in here and didn't expect to be making a fucking rapid exit, so.
Right. They all go out to Nemo's ship, which is equally fucking dope. So cool. Like, they could have just made it such a run-of-the-mill, decent-looking ship. It's epic.
Nemo's far and away my favorite character in this whole fucking movie. He's such a fucking badass, and, like, his aesthetic is fucking, like, immaculate.
His aesthetic, the ship's aesthetic, the car, his weapons, everything has a very unique theme, but that ship is so cool.
It's like, he's like, it's going to be the best piece of machinery we've ever had, and it's going to be pretty.
Right. Then we get another Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde's Paris scene. They're both in Paris. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, and I wonder if the book maybe takes place. I've never read Jekyll and Hyde, so I don't know much.
It might just be in Paris.
Pulp Fiction.
Also running on rooftops.
Yeah. But also, this is my question is, where did he get that fucking hat?
Good question.
Because, like, they're chasing him, and, like, he, like his hat falls off, and Tom Sawyer picks it up, and it's, like,
massive.
3 feet across.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Threaten the tailor somewhere into making it. First thing he did when he first transformed was like, I need a goddamn hat. I don't need a shirt or anything, but I need a hat. But they're shooting at him, and he's like, you're not hitting him. He's like, I'm not trying to hit him. I'm just trying to direct him and, like, make him turn left. And it's, like, starting to build this father-son vibe between Tom Sawyer and Quartermain right out of the gates. Where he's like, I can't save you all the time.
Yeah, and he's like trying to like teach him a little bit. It's like, no, you're just like firing like 85, like don't like shoot 100 bullets when you can only use one. And he's just like fucking being precise and like, just basically like leads fucking Hyde straight into a fucking like net trap.
That is so funny and so effective that it's a net that pulls him like 200 feet into a ship over by the.
Yeah, and then it like cuts to the inside of the ship, and like just the entire ship's going like.
Whole ship's crew is just standing there like vaguely poking at him with spears and shit.
Yeah, well, he's just fucking them up. Like he's like throwing them into fucking I-beams and shit.
I will say I'm not a fan of his transformation. I appreciate the prosthetics and everything, but they really kind of lazy with it. They do like flashes, and then he's in different makeup, and then a flash, and then different makeup, and I don't know. It was kind of lame.
Yeah.
The league is set, and they're like, we have 3 days. Tom Sawyer says, can this canoe do that? And I'm like, are you fucking shitting me, Tom Sawyer? This canoe? You saw what it looks like.
Fucking son, I know your history of boats, and you just were on a raft with a man with a name I cannot repeat, so you shut the fuck up about your boat fucking opinions.
Fuck Tom. He just says you underestimate the Nautilus. Whole movie, they're just disrespecting him and his wildly advanced technology.
Oh, dude, he has like a fucking like beacon guided rocket. Like fuck the fucking wire one.
It's
like
insane. At every turn, he's like, "Well, we have this. We made this." He's got a fucking live map that can track people.
He's like Edison, Ford, and Tesla rolled into one fucking dude. Like,
and they shit on him the whole movie. It's like vaguely racist, but
yeah, and he takes it like a fucking goddamn champ. He like fucking like never retaliates and fucking like just like it's like. My work will show I'm a badass. Fuck you.
Yeah. Then they say that the paintings they stole were a blueprint of Venice. They're going to attack by sea. And I'm like, has anyone considered like telling the people at the conference like to not do it maybe? There's a weird part where Quartermain is like doing notes and shuts off his light and beats the shit out of Skinner, who's walking around his room. And it's pretty funny when you realize this scene is just Sean Connery by himself pretending to grab someone. And
Yeah, oh, dude, it's so bad. Like at no point do I believe there is a person in his hand. At any point, he's like, go away, you.
He hints at somebody losing someone dear to him. He hints at making a mistake and costing the life of someone dear to him.
Yeah, he just makes a joke with Nemo. Nemo's like, you have ghosts from your past. You've lost someone. It's like, shit, man, this is making a fucking joke. Nemo gets all fucking intense on him. No way.
In the morning, they're starting to find little clues that someone is trying to sabotage them. Nemo finds some kind of powder on the ground, and then we see Quartermain kind of bonding with Tom Sawyer again, doing like target practice on these really, really cool sea targets that are cool. It's like almost like clay pigeons, but you wait till they get in the water. And he tells him that the reason he hates Britain is he took his son on a mission for the Queen, and his son died in his arms. And he shows absolutely zero emotion talking about it.
Yep.
And I'm like,
and then like
that's on you, you dickhead.
Yeah, and then even like the later scene, it's like, so do you teach your son like this? And he just like leaves. Like, it's like, how dare you talk about this? I'm like, bitch, you brought it up.
Also, why did you say that, Tom? What a weird thing to say right after that.
Yeah.
And then
got good social graces.
Around the ship, Quartermain is talking some shit to Vampire Lady about how he's suspicious of Nemo because he prays to the god of death. I'm like, you're just racist, you fucking asshole. Even Harker is like, yeah, no, I don't think that anything's happening. Also, you were just an asshole to me for the last 2 hours. So
yeah, it's like, why would I agree with you about anything?
She identifies the powder as being from a camera, so someone was in the taking picture of all of Nemo's tech.
Yep, and she reveals that Dorian Gray, who then like breaks a fucking like shot glass in his hand while he's like offering a drink to her, cutting her finger, and he gets her blood. Yeah, he like scratched Skinner earlier, and like it's just like it's not if you're paying like fucking like half attention, It's very obvious who the fucking villain is here.
Also, while that's happening, where they're like having some super intense sexual tension while that's going on, for some reason Dr. Jekyll's just standing outside the wide open door watching them.
Well, I guess okay, so like what I do know from the book is that the whole thing, it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is like man's like ego and id, basically. It's like the Jekyll was like supposed to be Dr. Jekyll's supposed to be the better part of us, and like he has all these feelings towards this like specific woman, but he shows like all this restraint and shit, and like just kind of watches from afar.
I get all that. I'm saying it's a wide open door and nobody notices him just standing there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's creeping. He's creeping. He's creeping hard. He's not even like peeking around the door. He's just like, if the door frame is just like there, just like his entire half body is sticking out. And then like fucking Mr. Hyde, like in his reflections, like fucking mocks him. It's like, oh yeah, you wanted to go in there and do something, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I didn't. It's like, I know you fucking did, because I'm you.
Nemo sees him starting to fall apart. Is basically like, get your shit together. We're on a fucking boat.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not having you fucking Hulk out in a sub, bro. Like, I will fucking kill you.
And then he finds one of his vials are missing, one of his potions. Yep. And basically everybody assumes it's Skinner because he can turn invisible and fuck with shit. And he was fucking
Skinner
with people, so...
Yeah, and also Skinner like dips at this point because I guess he like figures like, oh shit, everyone suspects me, so I'm just gonna fucking go hide in a corner.
Right. And then we're in Venice, and I am all the sci-fi in this movie. You're not convincing me this giant goddamn ship is fitting through the canal streets of Venice.
Like unless that canal was just like a straight fucking shot from the ocean, the second it like curves slightly, that fucking ship is stuck there forever.
It does become a problem briefly after this. They're like, okay, now we can't fit. Yeah. I'm like, are you gonna reverse the boat? Huge crowd for the carnival. They're like, we need to locate
up, like,
the bomb.
Eyes wide shut.
And it shows it's mini bombs.
Yeah, just like cuts to like 10 feet to their right below them. It's just like dozens of fucking like barrel explosives.
And there's not a whole lot of time. They start looking for him, and the bombs go off fucking immediately. They like flinch on some fireworks, and then the bombs are going off. Yeah,
like I'll give them props. It kind of reminds me of like Watchmen, where like the villains are at least competent. Where it's just like, yeah, no, we're not going to give them like time to react to our shit and stop us. We're going to set these things off before fucking they get here.
And you know, I'm starting to see a whole lot of similarities to the Avengers here, and I'm starting to wonder how much they ripped this movie off, because you got Hyde on the boat. They're like, we don't want you to transform on the boat, much like Hulk on the Quinjet.
Carrier.
And then shit starts going down, and they're like, bring out Hyde. And he's like, never again. They're like, well, then fuck you. What good are you? And literally just drive away, which is another
it's the same
Hulk thing.
Character arc, yeah.
And this pulls so much shit that pisses me off, this entire scene. So they're like, we need to blow up one single building to stop the domino effect that is going through the city. And it pulls the exact same bullshit that Superman did, where it'll show like the city and how fast it's collapsing. And they have so much time to get to this building. And I'm like, bullshit. You already lost.
Yeah, no, but they get the car out, and like Tom Sawyer's driving. They have like Mina and Quartermain and Dorian Gray are on the car with them.
Super cool. But it was one by one, they all jump out of the car to stay back and fight, and with zero problem. Like Quartermain jumps out, no forward momentum. He's just like, oh. I'm like, what? The car's going like 180 miles an hour.
Sean Connery's ankles would like shattered. But yeah, I mean, Dorian Gray just gets out for no goddamn reason. He's like, I'm just gonna go fight these guys over here for no reason.
Which is probably to go do evil
go fuck
shit.
With the fucking do evil shit. Then Quartermain like sees then like they start getting shot from the rooftops, and Mina just fucking goes full Morbius and fucking turns into like bat. Does she summon the bats? Does she turn into the bats? It's unclear.
It was confusing, but also pointless, because it was cool to see, but she's just flying on the rooftops, taking out like one dude at a time, and I'm like, that's not what we need right now. They're already way past where you are now. You're not helping anyone. Also, how did they line all the rooftops in Venice with guys with guns?
Prep time? I don't know.
Like I said, a lot of this scene just pissed me off. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Then Quartermain gets like a half-second glimpse of the Phantom down an alleyway, and just fucking hops out of the car and just like, he's like, don't forget the flare, Tom, and just fucking hobbles off down fucking the streets of fucking Venice. And then
don't forget the flare, Tom.
And then Tom Sawyer should be dead. Like, it's like how this is framed and filmed. There was no fucking way. Like, he like launches the car hits the build, and while he's in midair, he fucking fires the flare. Car inverts, goes through a fucking like stone fucking facade of a building, grinds to a fucking halt upside down. He crawls out, looks up, sees the missile above him, and somehow then like 2 seconds later the whole building blows up, and he gets out still somehow.
Horseshit. The car flips a bunch too. He should have died from that alone, with zero airbags or car safety in 1899.
Crumple zones.
But they're like, he's done it. And Q's walking around a graveyard looking for Phantom, and he's like, Venice still stands, you failed. Phantom is walking around the graveyard talking shit about his dead son while running between graves, and I'm like, how are you not seeing where he is?
I know, and he's like trying, like, he's like, this door's locked, fuck. The mom's like, he's like talking shit while like fucking running like a bitch. Great.
It's horse shit. And he's like, I know all about your spy, and he's like, do you? Cut to Dorian talking to Ishmael, and he's like, Skinner has a lot to answer for. And he's like, Skinner? No, me, and pulls out a gun. I'm like, that was lame as balls.
Yeah, and just fucking kills fucking, well, that doesn't kill Ishmael there, but fucking like shoots him fucking 6 times.
And he really fucked up by not killing Ishmael, but thought that was a really corny reveal. No, me. Quartermain, he knocks off Phantom's mask, and it's so dumb because it doesn't look anything like how he looked with the metal mask on when it comes off. Clearly a different guy now with some like prosthetic makeup on that doesn't match what he just looked like.
And he's like rips it all off super easy, and it's M, and he's been orchestrating this whole thing from the beginning.
Horrible unmasking. Quartermain hits him with a knife in the back as he runs away and jogs at like a medium pace, and he gets away.
I mean, to be fair, if I jogged at a brisk pace, I could probably outrun Sean Connery, so...
Exactly. With a knife in your back. Quartermain goes and tells the group, they're like, Dorian's MIA. Skinner must have fled when he realized we knew he's a traitor. Right after that, Ishmael comes off the ship, tells Nemo with his dying breath that Dorian was the traitor, and...
see? That's how you deliver a message with your dying breath. Take notes.
Exactly. Wasted zero time, just like, Dorian. What? Dorian's the traitor. Dies. Very effective. Good job, Ishmael. They start hearing banging on the ship, and this is another really corny use of effects. They could have done it just a tiny bit different, and it would have worked, but the escape pod that's on the ship essentially comes off that looks like a floating garbage disposal with like spinning blades on it. And
it's like a half dome.
Like a shutter opens up to show Dorian piloting the ship, and it's like a video projection of himself on the front of the boat that doesn't match up. So it doesn't look like you're looking through a window at Dorian.
No, it looks like something out of a theme park ride. It's fucking really lame.
Really, really weird. Like, they could have just changed the angle slightly, and it would have... I don't know. Yeah, they run onto the ship. Nemo has this super cool live map that is just a paper map that can, like, scroll and track where he is. Really cool. Again, he's the GOAT in this movie. They hear some high-pitched whirring, and there's, like, some type of alarm attached to a vinyl they find that is a video vinyl. Very weird.
Yeah, or was it a video vinyl, or was that just for our benefit? I don't know if, like, because, like, it was on a gramophone. Like,
it was definitely a video.
It.
It was because it shows them, like, it's so, again, super, super weird. It's just Dorian and Em revealing their evil plan, and it's really funny because they have, like, the cameraman moving around to get better angles of them doing smug poses as they talk.
Yeah. They're like, so you're probably wondering... Oh, yeah. Basically, his whole plan is, like, he gathered the League together to, like, steal all of their unique traits so he could sell them as weapons, like the skin from the Invisible Man, the blood from the vampire, Jekyll's potion, Nemo's science,
right?
Quartermain's sexism, you know, just all the most destructive things that they have.
And there's also a really corner part where he's like, so I set my wolf among you sheep. And then the cameraman cuts to Dorian and he goes, growl. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
And yeah, he's gloating and it's like, and I wonder wondering why I've told you, like, my entire plan. And he says, like, while I was talking, there was a high-pitched noise going off in this recording and it's going to set the bombs off in 3, 2, 1.
Again, he doesn't leave any room for error, even though they make it. But the whole time also Hyde is going, like, in a reflection, like, please shut it off. Please stop it.
Yeah,
like,
freaking out, like, hear the dog whistle basically the entire time. It's like too high for humans to hear. And yeah, the entire, like, 6 bombs go off in a submarine, which is not where you want them to go off.
Nemo tells the crew to seal the doors with the crew trapped on the other side. He's like, it's for the greater good. And Hyde is, like, showing his good side all of a sudden for the rest of the movie. Pretty much from here on out, he's like a good dude. Hyde's like, we can work together and help them so they don't have to close the door. And he jumps in the water, takes the potion. Another not great transformation. Just flash, flash, flash. Now he's Hyde. And I think you had something to say here about this. He goes down and pulls a lever.
It's like, they say the pump's not working, and it's just, he jumps down, and these 2 perfectly sized giant levers for Mr. Hyde's fucking hands that, like, would require apparently thousands of pounds of force to pull at any other point are the one thing that can eject all the water from this ship. And it's just like the physics of it, yet again, not quite as bad as the Tarzan physics in Van Helsing, but it's like one of those things where it's just like...
Especially when you see the massive hole in the side of the ship. Like, what the fuck did the pump do, dude? You're underwater.
It's like, you're breached, dude. That's game over. Like, you're not pumping the fucking water out of that hole.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe there's a sailor or someone on the sub who fucking actually knows about this, but just, I mean, the viewers, have you ever been in a submarine? Are there massive levers that can only be operated by a behemoth? Please let me know.
Mark, if you watch this episode, please let us know. He has been on a submarine. Yeah.
So
they get a message in Morse code from Skinner. He says he's hiding on board with him and Dorian, tells them to follow his lead. And then that's when you pan out and see the giant hole in the side of the ship. And they're like, we'll fit this real quick. In literally one quick montage scene, Dr. Jekyll and Harker are helping the wounded, Sawyer's helping repair the ship, and they're all done. That's it. Everything's good. They did nothing. Scene could have just not happened because it didn't matter.
All it let them do is, like, Jekyll or Moriarty and fucking Gray, like, get to the base before them slightly.
Right. Yeah, they say we're headed to the frozen lakes of Mongolia, virtually inaccessible to outsiders. And then they get there with zero inconvenience.
Yeah. I mean, apparently, thank God, every single waterway in this universe is, like, submarine navigatable. Like, that's just how this world works.
And can accommodate the largest ship on the planet.
Yeah. It's like basically an aircraft carrier turned on its side. Like, yeah.
They get there and find a castle that's entire purpose is to shoot fire from tubes. And Sawyer says, stem a retreat. And then they wait for Skinner.
Who should have fucking died from exposure. The fucking distance he had to walk from that cave to the fucking castle.
None of his superpowers protect him from Arctic temperatures while naked.
No. His dick is gone. Like, he even mentions he can't feel it anymore, but his dick is gone. But yeah, that's when Skinner shows up and grabs Mina's ass.
Yeah. What the fuck? And he reminds everybody he's naked in the snow. And I'm like, yeah, we know. You just grabbed a woman's ass while naked. Super cool.
This is just Sean Connery's self-insert fanfiction character.
Yeah. It turned into Hollow Man real quick for a minute there. You ever see that movie?
Oh, yeah, I've seen both of them.
What a snuff film that is.
Yeah. We even get the fucking burned invisible person later on in this too, so it's
Right.
a little more
Yeah,
connected
that
doing
looked an
yeah.
awful lot like it. Skinner
But
gives
yeah,
the lowdown. He actually did some research for once.
yeah, did pretty well.
Producing iron all over. They have tanks. They have missiles. They have giant mech suits. And he's made
Yep, yeah.
8, not a lie. Yeah,
You know,
Nemo and Quartermain say they'll free the prisoners. And yeah, they go raid it. M tells Dorian his painting is in his room and you should stay. And he's like, nah, I'm good, dude. And I honestly thought what was going to happen is he was just going to go open his door to his room and
the
be face to
painting's right
face.
there.
Yeah, why not just do that? That would have
That'd
been
be great.
hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he does say a thing where it's just like, yeah, I've seen this all before, man. I'm going to leave before this turns to shit.
Good call if he had actually left instead of being a fucking drama queen and packing up everything he owns.
Yeah. Yeah, really, if he just been less materialistic, he could just fucking dipped.
Which is his
you could have
whole
walked
thing.
out of there.
But
yeah.
Hyde starts a hands in the middle team thing that was really weird.
A little weird, and
they get inside the
built up to
fortress
at this point.
Super easy. Skinner's walking around
Yeah, it's
dropping bombs. Nemo's whooping ass, knocking out guards left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even try to shoot their guns, which drove me a little nuts. Like they see him knock out the first one and they all stand there and then run up at him, which is,
Yeah.
typical in movies like this.
Yeah, well, in real life, when everyone has an assault rifle, the movie would be way shorter.
Exactly. Hyde is holding up a giant metal door as like cover for all of Nemo's soldiers.
Pretty much just for Nemo, like all his shoulders fucking get mowed down.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't big enough to cover more than a person and a half.
Yeah.
Quartermain gets the drop on M and reveals his name. Again,
Professor Moriarty.
Why? For no fucking reason other than to just put his name in the movie. Says Professor Moriarty, and he's like, that man died, and then I was reborn. I'm like, why even put him in the fucking movie then? How did Quartermain figure this out? Does he know Moriarty? Does he know Sherlock Holmes? Nothing happened at all to tell him this.
I guess they ran in the same circles, and Quartermain has like known everything up to this point in the movie. That's new information to me. He's like, no, of course I know that. I heard that from someone.
So dumb. I don't know why they shoehorn that shit in at, like, I don't.
Yet again, I think it's probably the same thing as the Tom Sawyer thing. Like, Moriarty might be something that, like, American audiences recognize.
Right.
Kind of a thing. Because, it's like Sherlock Holmes Moriarty is
It would have been really cool if they replaced Quartermain with Sherlock Holmes in this movie. Which is not in the comics at all, but...
Nah. Well, the comics are insane. Like, this movie is fucking, like, way more linear and fucking cohesive than the fucking comics are.
Yeah, Dorian's getting ready to leave. Looks pretty happy with himself. Harker appears, and they're like, we're immortals, let's put it to the test. And I'm like, how the fuck is this even a contest? Sure, they're both immortal, but Harker is a vampire with powers and strength and all kinds of shit he does not have.
Yeah, and really, like, she, like, fucks him up. He hits her twice, and then, like, pins her, but like the end of it, she's just fucking with him.
Right. Yeah, he assumes she's dead and makes a stupid little pun joke and says, I thought I would nail you one more time. I didn't think it'd be literally. And I'm like, boo.
And then in another Immortals getting pinned to the wall with a sword fucking motif we have tonight. Or I think that's, she just wakes up and pins his ass to the wall and just shows him his painting and
brutal. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so vicious. She didn't hold back at all. Like not a moment of, should I do this? She's like, look at this shit. And he could have closed his eyes or something too, but I think he kind of wanted to see it. Like,
it's like that. He's curious, like
right. Sawyer thinks he sees Skinner, says it's all good, and he goes, "What makes you think I'm Skinner?" And then stab, 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 miss, miss, miss.
Yeah,
doesn't hit him once.
If that guy had not said anything, he could have just stabbed him. Oh yeah, I'm Skinner. Stab. Also, the CGI in that knife was not good. Like, everything else in this held up pretty goddamn well, but that one was just like, ooh, we didn't have time to finish that one, did we?
It's Sanderson from the beginning of the movie. He gets covered in ink and runs away. And then not Iron Man with a flamethrower appears and goes after Tom, lighting everything on fire. Skinner runs up and pokes a hole in his tank and then burns himself and tells Sawyer to run for it. And that is some, like, it's not great, but I like the effect of it, that you can see the burnt parts of him and not the rest of him.
Yeah.
Doesn't
he's
look
fine
awesome,
later.
But what the fuck? Now he has a healing factor too, apparently.
Yeah.
Hyde is beating the absolute shit out of the Nazis, and then the main henchman that's been there the whole movie starts chugging one of the potions, and he's like, no, not the whole thing.
That's too much. And just, yeah, it turns into like fucking like lopsided Hulk.
This horrible. It's the Red Hulk, basically. His head's way too
Yeah.
small. And dude, it's bad. The effects on this guy are so. This is where I
Yeah.
said PS1 graphics for sure. It looked like a Crash Bandicoot villain every time they showed his
Yep.
face. It was not good.
Well, no, and especially because so much of this movie was practical. It's just like it just stood out so fucking hard when they were like
Right.
fighting and running from it and shit. And yeah, it's like not everything aged well. And also, this is a 23-year-old movie at this point, so
Yeah.
you gotta give his credit a little bit.
Invisible Sanderson gets the drop on Sawyer, puts a knife to his throat, and then we cut to Quartermain is fucking idiot and falls for a mirror and thinks he's looking at Professor Moriarty and shoots it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you
it's not like a
dumbass
hallway of
old
mirrors
man.
or anything.
Yeah.
It's just a mirror.
Like, what the fuck, man? And he's literally
And
right
even then-
behind him.
Yeah, and even then, like, where it gets the drop on him and still fucking, like, getting the shit kicked out of him by fucking his
So many
old-ass
people
man.
getting the drop on people in this scene. I put that I've typed getting the drop on a lot. Hyde is fighting Red Hulk, and it's not going great. Quartermain and Moriarty are having a knife fight, and Nemo jumps into the fucking Hulk fight and looks real dope for a second. Does the with his sword. That was pretty cool. Doesn't do anything though.
Yeah, dude, he just gets, like, knocked over a wall. He gets thrown, like, 40 feet through the air onto fucking stone and just, like, gets up. It's like, oh, whoa, this is a little difficult.
No consequences for the good guys, except one big one.
Yep.
Hyde says he's burning through the formula at an accelerated rate. He's going to turn back any time now. And then a giant hand grabs his fucking head. And it doesn't.
Yep.
He doesn't burn through it.
No, Hyde burns through first. Like, he turns back into Dr. Jekyll as they're fucking running and get through, like, this little fucking slit in the wall.
Yeah.
That leads to Icicle Room, apparently, with no exit. I don't know what that room was. And yet again, how'd they get out after that? I don't know. But yeah, like, and there's, like, icicles in the ceiling, and, like, he can't get anybody. He grabs an icicle, he's about to stab him, then, like, it cuts the Quartermain about to stab Moriarty. Then, like, all the fucking bombs go off in the fucking building.
Yeah. Also, while they're fighting, it's the worst old man fight ever. There's no speed or technique. It looks bad.
It's literally like, it's like, huh! And then, like, cut to fucking Moriarty getting punched, then, huh! Cut to Moriarty being punched from the fucking opposite angle.
The bombs go off, which disrupts everyone's fights, and shitty Red Hulk gets crushed. Quartermain gets the drop on him, and this is where I put, good lord, the amount of times I've said some version of this.
Yeah, so he's about to end him with, like, a fucking, like, wood axe, basically.
Yeah.
Where he's crawling back on the floor. He's like, you wouldn't do this to me. He's just like, yep, I would. Then he, like, fucking reveals that, like, fucking Tom Sawyer is fucking, like, being held hostage behind him.
Yeah, about to get his throat slit. So he turns around to shoot the invisible guy and gets stabbed. And then Moriarty turns into Batman. I don't understand.
Our first Batman reference tonight, but it will be our last tonight.
Yeah, I just don't understand why. He
just says he has Batman cloak ready at all times, but it's not even his regular cloak. It's like something else he's wearing on top of his regular cloak. Yeah, he was just ready to jump from any window at any time. He's Moriarty. He's a mastermind. It's just he knew he would need wings by the end of this. But yeah, he starts running, and, like, Quartermain starts, like, giving, like, advice to Tom Sawyer, like, like, wait for the shot. You have all the time in the world. And he's, like, obviously fucking dying in the background.
Right. Which was kind of a heartfelt scene. I just hate Sean Connery. He says it's too far, and he's like, no, it's not. And and then fucking passes out. But he's not dead yet, because he has to say some stuff. And Moriarty's running away with a stupid evil grin and gets shot, and then his case full of samples goes into the ocean, which I'm wondering if that was supposed to come up in their later sequels, like somebody finds him.
Yeah, maybe.
And he turns around and he's like, I got him! And he's, aw. And he says, may this new century be your son, as the old one was mine. And then he dies, and Tom Sawyer accepts his death immediately. Zero attempt at trying to bring him back or anything. He just stands there like, okay, he's dead.
Yep. And then we just, I think, smash cut to Kenya, basically, at this point.
Both of these movies do this weird thing where somebody dies, and then they're just like, and Yeah, they're dead. Funeral. Now it's a funeral.
Yep, and they like basically do it's like, well, are we all going to still be the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Everyone's like, yeah, we'll come with you, Nemo, and have adventures. Tom Sawyer puts his badass gun on the top of the grave, and whenever anyone does that, like, you realize that's getting stolen like the second you fucking like walk away from this place, right? Like, it's not gonna be there in like 20 years and you come back. Like, there's some dude in the bush like, I'm gonna get that fucking gun as soon as they're all gone.
And then you see what I'm assuming is the witch doctor he referenced throws some dirt from his grave, like throws it up, and then like turns into fire, and clouds start
starts
rolling.
like chanting.
Yeah,
the ground starts rumbling, fucking Man of Steel style, and fucking just as like fucking we're gonna see fucking zombie fucking Quartermain's hand burst from the earth.
That's what I was waiting on. Yeah, it doesn't happen at all, and there was never a fucking sequel, so that was just dumb.
Yep. Yeah, 2 movies set up universes that never happened.
Yeah. I didn't remember that scene at all, the after scene where it shows, him, like, supposed to come back. Didn't remember that. Super corny. Yeah, they do, like, some red lightning and thunder as it shakes, and then that's the end.
Yep.
All right. Good
God, imagine
Lord.
Sean Connery wakes up and he's in, like, Africa afterlife. He's like...
Oh, fucking looks around to see all like the witch doctor that brought him there and everything. He's like,
yeah,
am I in hell?
Yeah, he starts trying to like snap his own neck to get out of it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Whew. Well, on that note, as I said in the beginning, we go through the plots. Took a little longer than usual, but that was a long-ass fucking movie in the beginning. Now we take them through 10 rounds and score each movie on a scale of 1 to 10, add up the scores at the end, and declare a winner. A couple of the rounds are constants through every movie, and we make more specific ones based on the types of movie we're watching. So, without any further ado, let's get into it with round 1. Cold open clash. Which opening slaps harder right out of the gate? You got I guess technically the cold opening in Van Helsing is Frankenstein, or the Paris Rooftop Brawl, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is Phantom launching all-out assaults with a tank through the streets of London.
I mean, they're both pretty good openings. Like, weirdly enough, though, I do feel that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen sets the tone better for the rest of the movie, because like the beginning of Van Helsing is like played straight, no laughs. Like, I mean, I guess like Dracula a little bit, but it's just like there's like an angry mob, and there's like the pathos of fucking like Frankenstein's monster and the death of his master and shit. And he's like, why? And like the rest of the movie is like does not have that weight.
Yeah, I guess I just really liked the style that there.
It was good.
Since
Yeah.
it's supposed to
They're going
be
for
like a branch off of the old 1930s, 1940s monster movies, they kind of show that style at first.
I do like how like it was like the fire was like super overexposed, like it was in the fucking like old fucking movies and shit. Like
I thought that was pretty
really
cool.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know. The beginning of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen literally just feels like the beginning of a Marvel movie to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're both pretty
bit,
cool.
yeah.
But I'm leaning a little more towards Van Helsing.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say the aesthetic on Van Helsing is probably a little better, whereas like they just straight up do an Austin Powers gag and fucking
Austin Powers gag and then just news headlines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they're both pretty cool. I love the missile on a rope, but
yeah.
For me, I would probably be going like 10-8 here, giving it to Van Helsing.
Yeah, because the opening was great in Van Helsing. It definitely sets the mood, if not necessarily the tone, for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like a nice little nod to the movies that made this theme here.
Yeah, the classic Universal horror movies, and probably I give like 8, 6. Because I mean, I guess League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is pretty basic when you think about it. It's just a text crawl, and then here's the villain.
Exactly, literally the Star Wars crawl. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so round 1 going to Van Helsing. Let me get my tallies going here. Sorry, I hit the bell too early. Round 2, Best Monster Showcase. Which film flexes its creature lineup with more flair and intimidation? Van Helsing has werewolves, vampire brides, Frankenstein's monster, League of Extraordinary it also has Jekyll and Hyde. And the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen has Hyde, Mina's vampirism, Dorian's immortality, Nemo's enhanced combat.
I mean, I feel like the monsters were way more of a focus in Van Helsing.
Definitely. It
Like,
definitely felt
like
more
that was like,
monstery to me, too. It really felt like League was definitely going for that Avengers team-up vibe more than they are
yeah,
monsters.
and still trying to kind of keep it in the realm of like science and believability and
Right.
things like that. Whereas like, yeah, Van Helsing just leans into like magic and mystic, fucking ancient monsters
They're
and
like, God and the devil
sorcery and
exist.
spells. Yeah, like no,
The
we know this for a
Catholic
fact.
Church isn't a group of monsters in this world.
Yeah. Well, they're the least evil thing in this world. We don't know if they're good, but
Yeah, I
they're
think
not
based
openly
on
eating babies.
Frankenstein alone, it leans more monster-y
Yeah.
in Van Helsing
Well,
than League does.
Frankenstein and the werewolves like are really fucking good. The brides have their moments, but it's kind of hit and miss.
Right.
But
Quartermain should
yeah,
have
but
never
also
been
then
the
like
focus of League of Extraordinary
no,
Gentlemen.
it should have been just Tom Sawyer. Like we just follow him. Like he's
Right.
like our character touchstone, and then like this is already going on somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, like even just like the like you said earlier, like you liked the Hyde better and fucking Van Helsing. Like
I don't
how
know if
he
I
moved and
necessarily like
operated.
it better. I like their take on it because we'll get to it here in the next round. But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm definitely going Van Helsing here. Definitely felt more like a monster mash than League of Extraordinary Gentlemen did.
Yeah, because like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was trying to keep it like real in that way that I think kind of lessened it a little bit.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a lot less niche, even though their characters
Mhm.
are super niche. Like they should have made it more niche. Like
Yeah, no, like if you lean into it, you'll get more fucking interest in trying to make
exactly.
like a cheeseburger out of it. You know?
Right. All right. Well, I went 10-6 here for that one going to Van Helsing.
Yeah, I think probably I'll go like 9-7.
All right.
So I think
That's
still like
round.
Mina was pretty good, and the Invisible
I did
Man
like
was very
Mina.
good,
That's
how
what
they
I'm
did
saying.
that.
If they had done it
Yeah.
the way it was supposed to be done and Mina was leading the group and leaned more into that, then it would have been great. But Sean Connery just
Yeah, but then
fucking
Sean
old
Connery couldn't
man
have been
farts
terrible.
all over the monster vibe.
Yeah.
Round 3 is what we've been referring to. Jekyll and Hyde face off. Which interpretation of the tortured split persona hits harder? Performance, design, narrative impact is a little iffy. Yeah, for me, like I said, I'm not saying I necessarily like Van Helsing's better. I just like I guess I kind of like the take better because in League, I feel like they really tried hard to go for the Hulk. And
Yeah.
Van Helsing,
Well,
he's
it
not
also
in a
just
super lot of it, but he's just a big giant oaf. He's got like a gut and his butt cheeks are hanging out.
yeah, it's got like Shrek vibes almost. Kind
yes,
of thing
exactly.
To it. Yeah, and it's just like also just like the Jekyll and Hyde in League of Extraordinary Story of Gentlemen. They're like, you've done horrible things. We see none of that. Like,
Right, exactly.
we see him like throw a dude once and like say a couple of things, and after that he's like, "Oh, I'm on the team."
Yeah, there's a brief moment where he's like, "I'm not letting Hyde out to commit any more atrocities," and they're like, "Well, fuck you then, bye."
Yeah,
and then they're like, "All right, let's work together and be good people." Okay, and that's like most of the movie. He's just a good guy.
Yeah.
And the Hulk.
Whereas, yeah, I mean, as the one in fucking Van Helsing, he chews the scenery as much as he chews those cigars he fucking loves so much.
Dude, eating the cigar, blowing the giant smoke ring, putting on Van Helsing's hat, the way he's like monkeying
just like having
around
this like
the room.
Yeah, this like mocking conversation with him. He's like, "You're not even a threat to me. I can just fuck around." Like,
right. The way he fucking monkey bar swings at him from like 400 feet away with no plan in mind.
Yep.
Yeah, he's barely in the movie, but I liked him better, I guess, in Van Helsing. Yeah.
I wish they'd done more with like the about face with fucking Jekyll and fucking League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He's just like, "Oh, I'm perving, a little creepy." He's kind of the devil on my shoulder for like 2 seconds, and then I'm just a superhero.
Yeah, they should have leaned a lot more. They should have shown a lot more of the like torturing of self over what you've done, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or at least told us what the fuck you did. They just said horrible crimes. That's all they told us.
Yeah, they don't even seem remotely concerned about bringing him onto the team. Nemo's the only one remotely that's like, I don't want you on my fucking ship.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want you to sink us. Like, it's not even like a moral character thing. It's just you're dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say can't give too high of a score to Van Helsing because he's barely in it, but for me, I'd go like 8-7, barely. But,
yeah, it's close, but the fact that like one is a main character and the other is a fucking like bit player in the beginning is.
And I love that actor too. I just wish they had it. There's a lot of things in that movie they could have done a lot better, and that's one of them.
Yep.
All right. This one's a fun one. I like round 4. The League versus Van Helsing. Who wins in a fight? straight up battle royale. Which side actually bodies the other? You've got Gabriel's plot armor acrobatics with Anna's agility if she's involved, and then werewolf form as the trump card. On the other side, you have Quartermain's supernatural accuracy, Mina's full vampiric regeneration, Nemo's superhuman martial arts, Hyde's brute rage, and Dorian.
I mean, how much rope does Van Helsing have?
That's the real question. How much rope exists?
Yeah.
Which universe are we in? The one with canyons to swing upon?
Because I feel like if he doesn't have anything to swing on, that's like half his power set has been negated, like right off the bat.
To me, this is kind of like the Batman argument. Like, does Van Helsing get prep time? Because if Van Helsing gets prep time, his whole gig is killing people that are in the league.
Yeah, like if okay, I'll say it this way: if Van Helsing knows what he is going to kill, like if he knows it's a fucking Hyde and a vampire and an invisible man, and like if he knows the lineup, he wins. If he walks in blind, I think he gets his ass kicked. Like,
yeah, I mean, in Van Helsing, he bodies Hyde pretty quick, so he's a non-factor. Takes some time to figure out how to kill a vampire, and Mina or Harkus, whatever her name is, Mina, is a spawn of Dracula, so you might have some trouble there.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure:
and
Tom Sawyer and Quartermain are dead immediately.
Oh yeah, they're like you've seen Invincible, right?
The cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting dark winged like fucking like the second the fucking fight opens up, he's just like smacked, fucking dead. But yeah, no. I guess the only issue would be if Dorian is not near his painting. There's really not. I guess he could trap him. Like if you put him in a cage.
See, that's the whole thing with Dorian. He might not be able to kill him right away, but once he figures out he can't, Dorian's not really a threat.
Yeah, no. It reminds me. There's this thing in like one of the new fucking X-Men comics where like there's like this granny where her whole shtick is that she cannot die. It's not even like a regeneration thing. It's just she just does not die.
Yeah.
And like there's this point where it's like Beast is like, see, I've already figured out how to neutralize her power. If no one tries to kill her, she's harmless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I guess if
really
werewolf
comes down to
can
Mina versus Van Helsing. Yeah, if he turns into werewolf form, it's over.
Yeah, because yet again, it's which universe we're in. But if we're following by the fucking rock paper scissors of fucking werewolf beats vampire, and I assume vampire beats ghost and ghost beats werewolf, like if that's how it works.
But then we got Nemo. I don't know. Nemo might outsmart
Nemo could
him
just
with
like
his tech and shit.
Nemo could just fucking hit the building he's in with a fucking missile from fucking like 2 miles away.
That's true. They have missiles.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Carl might counterbalance Nemo in the tech department, but they have missiles.
Carl's got a grenade. Nemo has fucking ICBMs that he can.
But he might turn into a werewolf and survive the missile. I think I'm gonna go tie here, honestly, because it just depends on a lot of things.
Well, no. What would happen is if with every team up, they would fight and then find out each other are not the villains, and they would join forces.
Yeah, there might be a brief moment where Van Helsing's still like, no, I'm still killing Hyde, but then we can move on.
Yeah, Mina. Also probably killing her because she's spawn of the devil.
All right, so I'll go 10-10 tie here.
Yeah. The audience would win. That's who would win.
That would be a great crossover movie, Hollywood.
And everyone's as proper ages for it. Like
Sean Connery doesn't act anymore, so it'll be even better.
Yep. I think he's dead. Isn't he dead?
Is he?
I want to say yes. I remember hearing a thing recently, but I could be wrong. Hey Siri, is Sean Connery still alive?
Oh yeah.
Nope, he's not.
Oh really? This says he died in 2020 on Halloween.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
What does that mean? Life or decay? I don't know. Yeah, he died at 90.
No idea.
In the Bahamas on Halloween. That's weird. That's a very Sean Connery way to die. Halloween in the Bahamas, probably assaulting someone and being racist because it's the Bahamas. Round 5. Visual Effects Showdown. Whose visual effects hold up better today? Transformations, creatures, set motion, and digital environments. Keep in mind they are only a year apart.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It depends. Because I feel like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen did really good environmental CGI, or it was terrible for fucking Van Helsing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel some of the character stuff in Van Helsing was way better than what was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So it's kind of.
I think the Hyde transformation was better, as brief as it was. Dracula's transformation was better than Mina's to me.
Yeah, the
wolf
werewolf
was great.
transformations were great.
Some of the
Yeah.
death scenes, I think that all the bad in Van Helsing gets outweighed by how bad the Red Hulk guy was.
Yeah. And
That
also,
was
really, the only bad in
terrible.
Van Helsing was like the vampire bride deaths. Like,
Right.
those are the ones that kind of.
And when they fly in the very beginning is a little rough, but nowhere near as
Mhm.
bad as some of the shit in League, dude. And their
Oh, yeah,
granted,
and,
their
like,
budget was a lot lower, but that abomination should not have been in that fucking movie if they couldn't do it.
yeah, no, and that, or at least like make it like another practical fucking Hyde suit or something. Like, I
Right.
don't know. Like, get the second Hyde suit that I'm sure they had and put a different fucking head on it and paint a different color. Like, that would have fucking done better.
Yeah, neither are awesome, so I'm thinking like a 6-4 here going to Van Helsing.
Yeah, because like I said, Van Helsing, like they put the budget where it mattered.
Right. Yes, yeah.
Some of the stuff
That
was
werewolf
just,
transformation is iconic in my mind, at least. You know,
yeah, and then I go back and think about
disagree.
the fucking Invisible Man knife thing that looked like the fucking test footage from fucking Toy Story. Like, it was bad.
And then when they just decided not to even try and have Sean Connery grab nothing and throw it out a door.
Yeah.
All right, that's another round going to Van Helsing, taking us into round 6. Action set piece smackdown. Which movie dishes out more memorable chaos? Carriage chases, Venice destruction, castle fights, or Nautilus battles?
And I feel like there's a lot of downtime in the middle of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like, the whole Nautilus travel bit kind of drags.
Mm-hmm.
There is like not a minute in fucking Van Helsing where they're sitting still.
Right. Yeah, yeah, this feels like a easy one to me. I mean, right out of the gate, you got the
Yeah.
awesome fight with Hyde, and then awesome fight as soon as he gets to the village. More fights, more fights. They encounter
Mhm.
Dracula fucking twice, and then you got the ultimate kaiju battle. That ultimate fight alone is so much more
Yeah.
satisfying than League versus Red Hulk and Old Man fight.
Oh, dude, even the fucking like shit Jekyll was doing, like, so much was just like, obviously the suit weighs like 300 fucking pounds, and like he'll like awkwardly swing his arm, and then like 3 dudes on wires get fucking yanked back. Like, it's just like didn't really hit like some of those things.
Yeah, it really sucks too, because like the Nautilus is dope, the car is dope, a lot
Yeah.
of Nemo shit is dope, but they ruin it with so much other lame shit.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the
Yeah,
fights
where
really, to me, in Van Helsing were not good.
Yeah, no, and like it was to the point. It's like they're so kinetic and fast. It was like hard to take notes on them sometimes because like so
Yeah,
much shit's
dude.
happening so quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I had 11 pages of notes just for the record. It was tough. Yeah, I'm thinking like 10-7 here.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind, Van Helsing is better in that department, though.
Yeah, just it doesn't stop, and just like I don't want to see fucking Sean Connery sitting pensively in his room fucking 5 times,
Throwing old man punches at another not
Yeah.
powered person. Yeah, it would have been cool if Moriarty had like actually taken those things he had and made himself a little powered, but yeah. What do I know? Round 7 is going to be costume and production design. Which world looks cooler, richer, more fully realized? Gothic monster hunting or Victorian steampunk?
You know what? Honestly, like it has been a poor showing for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but I want to give it to this one like solely for all the Nemo shit.
I was about to say the same
'Cause, like,
thing. I just
Yeah.
that ship is so cool. The car is so
just, like,
cool.
Even like littler details in that, like when like they go out to Venice, like he's like deploying like fucking like helmet like divers, and like the helmet has like the faces of Shiva like fucking like around
Yes.
it, like, and it's an actual physical
Fuck.
prop. It's like it was completely unnecessary, and it was in the scene for 2 fucking seconds, but it was so well made and so well done. Like,
On top of that, they're in several different environments. You got like Venice, London, Africa, the Arctic. It wasn't like they knocked it out of the fucking park or anything, but I think they did pretty good for having to work with so many different set pieces. And yeah, everything they did for Nemo, somebody worked super fucking hard on making everything he had awesome. And Van Helsing is cool. I love the setting. I love the way the world looks, but it's one place. You see a little bit of Vatican and everything, but it's mostly Transylvania, which I feel
And
is
also
relatively easy to accomplish if you can rent out some castles.
Yeah, and the other problem I have with it is just like the costuming was so fucking inconsistent. Like
Right.
Mina's whole fucking wardrobe like sticks out like a sore goddamn thumb. And
She's
fucking
straight
even,
up
like,
wearing
Van
yoga
Helsing-
pants.
Yeah, like Van Helsing is like a fucking like duster and a cowboy hat in like a time where that's not a thing. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just it didn't feel cohesive. Like
Definitely not going
whereas, like,
10
just
for
started
League. Maybe like 8.
no 8, yeah, because there were problems. Like the whole last like fucking factory area, I couldn't fucking tell you the fucking layout of that building if you held a gun to my head and told me to fucking draw.
Also, they
Like
hype
it's
up
so fucking
everything in that building so much, and then you barely see it. Like, there's the mech
yeah,
suit one time. I feel like that should have been a much bigger
yep,
factor, or the 50 tanks, like, or the other non-ally. That would have been cool.
yeah, just yeah, no, it was all fucking just blown up off screen basically
Exactly.
after like getting shown at once.
All right, so first round that is going to League, taking us into round 8. Best villain energy. Again, this one for me is a no contest immediately. Which
Oh yeah,
antagonist carries the film harder? Dracula's operatic theatrics. I love that. Or the Phantom's
yeah,
masked chaos terrorism. Fuck him.
yeah,
Fuck the
yeah.
Moriarty reveal. That pissed me off so much, and he's such a non-factor.
Yeah, it really didn't matter. Like honestly, it'd be even like it would have even been better if like the first guy that was recruiting him was the villain or something. It just I don't know, like it didn't hit, and like the reveal wasn't that good.
It
Whereas
meant nothing.
Dracula's there just fucking chewing up the scenery for fucking every goddamn scene. And there's like fucking poses
Yeah,
and
as
fucking
corny as you
jokes
could
and
say it is, his operatic theatrics, I love them. It's like
yeah,
hilarious and great. It makes such a character. Like, that he's
hmm
so dramatic and weird, but he is a real threat.
I know it's like I mean I can't do it now because I want to go back and like model some of my Strahds after this guy. I think it'd be
Yes.
great.
Well, dude, the cover of Strahd, he looks a lot like that Dracula.
Yeah.
Also, I can't harp on this enough. The Moriarty reveal, to anyone that isn't deep in Sherlock Holmes lore, that meant nothing. Anybody that
Yeah,
doesn't
'cause
know is like, okay, but he knows his name, so what?
yeah, because the whole thing with Moriarty is like he was like the original end of Sherlock Holmes was supposed to be Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty falling off a bridge to their deaths.
Right.
And
And
then
he says,
technically-
that man died and I was reborn, which is a vague
Yeah.
reference to that. But again, anybody that's not deep into Sherlock Holmes lore, unless you say Sherlock Holmes or he's in the movie, deadpan, means nothing.
Oh man, I want to see if this rings a note to anyone else besides me. But does anyone else remember Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century?
I don't. We'll see if anybody in the comments does.
Oh god, yeah.
But again,
So, yeah,
I'm one of
hey,
those people. I know who Professor Moriarty is because I've read a Sherlock Holmes book and because I believe he's in one of the movies. But
yeah. Oh yeah, he's in the Robert Downey Jr. fucking
Yeah.
movies.
yeah. So, but this movie came out way before that. So back then I
Yeah,
was like,
so,
I don't know
yeah.
what that means.
I'll force
All
it
right.
to do it
That
somehow.
round again going to Van Helsing, taking us into round 9. Story and pacing. Which film keeps its narrative bolts tightened better, even as both movies go gleefully off the rails? I no contest to me.
No.
Moriarty is bullshit.
Yeah, it's barely like a villain clear plot the whole thing where and like I said, the middle of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen drags like a motherfucker. Like that whole trans fucking
And
Atlantic fucking void. You know.
I will say I'm not going to give a 10 to Van Helsing because it didn't need to be that fucking long.
No.
But they didn't need to
No.
run
There's a-
into Dracula two or three times. It should have been a
Yeah, and get
end of
on
the
a
movie
stolen
thing.
and returned and captured and returned.
And then
yeah,
they're
just-
escaping, and then they get pulled back, and that shit kind of pissed me off. But as far as the plot, it was very clear. It sets up some intrigue and resolves it in a great way that makes sense. Fucking meanwhile, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is over here tightening, landing plots that were never started and making reveals that were never set up. Like,
Yep.
lame.
Again, if they had mentioned the name Sherlock Holmes fucking once in the
One
movie,
time,
like
even during the reveal, if they'd have been like,
yeah,
Professor Moriarty, arch rival of
It's like,
Sherlock
oh,
Holmes.
my
I'd be like, oh.
yeah, my old friend Holmes told me all about you.
Right. Something. I mean, my God, just one name drop. But I mean, even the setup is like he's starting an arms race to get everybody to buy his weapons. 30 minutes later, they're like, that
Yep.
wasn't the plot. It's this. And I'm like, okay, why even do that? Why? To just throw it away 30 minutes later. All right, round 10, which is a through line through all of our episodes as of late. Round 10, final verdict gut check when the credits roll. Which one just feels like the better ride? No logic, no math,
Yeah.
just instinct.
I mean, even though I did want the ride to end at a point a little earlier than it did, I feel Van Helsing is definitely the better ride.
Yeah,
Van Helsing is that roller coaster that's awesome, but has like one or two too many loops, and by the end of it, you're like, okay, let's go. We need to get off now.
Whereas League of Extraordinary Gentlemen has a few good loops and then like a really long part where you're just driving straight and you're like, what the fuck?
And then a really disappointing drop at the end.
I will say, as much as I hate a lot of rewatching League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I still don't completely hate the movie, so I'm not going to give it an incredibly low
just
score.
In comparison, yeah. Yeah, I want to say it's like, I'll give like a 9 to Van Helsing because it's schlocky, but I fucking enjoy it, and like a 7 to League. I think to be my points there.
Yeah. Yeah, I went 10-8. You know, I also didn't hate Sean Connery as much in 2003 because I didn't know as much about him, but
well, you know, back then it's like, oh, that's kind of a funny joke for an old man to make, and then you realize like, oh no, that's just his actual fucking heartful beliefs.
And then when you find out he changed the plot of the movie because of his sexism, like that's a little fucked.
Yeah.
But there are parts of the movie I do like. Like I said, I love the Tom Sawyer bit. I love their little marksmanship scenes. Some of the fights are really cool. I like Dorian Gray. Nemo's great. Not a movie that I will never watch again, that's for sure. But between the two, I will always choose Van Helsing.
Yeah, just it's a more cohesive movie, and like I said, like it felt like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was trying to set up pieces for later that just never got.
They absolutely were. Anytime a movie focuses on that too hard before they've even gotten like confirmed and budgeted for a sequel, it is always going to show. Mm-hmm. Well, with that, no surprise by an absolute, a little surprising to me that it was this drastic, because when we made the episode, I had fond memories of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah. But with the tie, the final score is 8-1. Van Helsing, our winner.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrecked it.
Hey, it ain't a tie this week, so that's something.
Yes, thank God. We finally broke our tie streak by a long shot. So, if you're new to the show, we'll leave you with a couple bits of trivia, some Easter eggs, some unknown facts about the movies, and then we're going to spin a wheel to decide what the next episode is. So, first, Nick, why don't you tell him some trivia facts about League?
Yeah, so first off, we have Jason Fleming, who was playing Mr. Hyde, was not the first choice. There were several well-known British actors that refused the part because of the demanding makeup effects required for the role. And you can tell, man, it seems like he's fucking struggling to fucking move in that thing sometimes.
It looks brutal, yeah. Especially during the transformation scenes, I like imagining that means they had to go do makeup to make him look halfway like Hyde, shoot for half a second, and then go do more makeup.
So the comic features a character named Sir Campton Bond, a British intelligence director and ancestor of James Bond. He was included in early drafts of the screenplay, with one media report suggesting that he would have been played by Sir Roger Moore, therefore having 2 former James Bonds in one movie due to an overcrowded plot, which, the character was dropped before filming, beginning to be saved for a possible sequel. Some of the lines were given to Sanderson Reed. Bond makes a cameo appearance at the end of the novelization. Yeah, I feel like if you'd thrown James Bond in there, that would have been better too. Just anything, though.
Anything.
Quartermain.
Other than, So did you ever find out what Quartermain is? Was that something that existed before this movie?
He's like, it's like an adventure book, and he's like a super famous like hunter in like the African wilderness and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's just basically like alpha bro fantasies.
Right.
And then I'll do this last one. A planned sequel was canceled due to negative critical reception and poor box office reports. It would have been an adaptation of the second series of the comic books, with the League battling the Martian tripods from H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds movie. Included the sequel's plot can be gleaned from a poster in the background which says volcanic eruption on Mars.
Oh. Yeah, that wouldn't have went well at all.
No.
Some facts about Van Helsing. A spin-off television series was pitched to NBC to have been called Transylvania. It was to have featured a Wild West sheriff taken to Europe to battle monsters, with occasional guest appearances by Hugh Jackman as Gabriel Van Helsing. Series idea was stillborn, partly because makeup, effects, and location shooting in Romania would have been too expensive, and partly because the film's opening weekend box office was far below expectations, which also doomed a proposed sequel. I would have never wanted to see that show. That would have bastardized that movie.
No. Every time they take a good like high budget movie and turn it into a fucking TV show, it never fucking works out.
Limitless.
Like even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was
Stephen Sommers wanted Kate Beckinsale for the role of Anna, but feared it was too similar in tone to the vampire werewolf film Underworld, which she was shooting at the time. He didn't want to ask her. Eventually, Her agent got Summers to send the script, and Beckinsale immediately signed on. That's funny. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. She's like, nah, I'm into this shit, man.
Yeah. She's like, I'm doing pretty much the same thing right now. Let's do it. This one's cool. The place where Van Helsing and Anna fight Dracula's three brides is the same place where Frankenstein was shot in 1931, Dracula in 1931, and Wolfman in 1941 were filmed. The set is called the Court of Miracles and is part of the studio tour at Universal Studios in Hollywood.
I heard, yeah, it's been torn down recently, unfortunately.
Oh,
There
that
was,
is
like,
a bummer.
fire or something. Yeah.
And this is a character error. At the end, Anna's body is cremated. In the Middle Ages and Renaissance, cremation was forbidden by the Catholic Church. It was used as punishment for heretics and unbelievers to deny them entry into heaven, which is the whole fucking plot of this movie, and would not have been an
God, wouldn't that be
appropriate
funny?
method to allow her to reach heaven.
Wouldn't that have been funny? It was like, damn, I was trying to keep her from heaven and she got in.
It says Carl would have undoubtedly known this and objected to any such
Yeah.
ceremony. That would have been hilarious. He was like, let's
Unless-
burn her. Like, hey,
Unless it was
no.
Carl's, unless it was Carl's idea, it's like, no, Roman ain't heaven.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, it's totally what we do.
That is our little bits of trivia for these movies, and let's go ahead and get into the wheel. First, we spin the wheel that tells us which wheel to spin, and then we spin that wheel. It has genres on it. One wheel for each genre. Okay. We each have one veto, by the way. Forgot to say that. The result is thriller/twists movies.
Ooh, we haven't had one of those.
No, we have
I
not.
think yet.
Let's do it. I don't even
Oh, God.
particularly remember what's
game's
on
on
this
there.
wheel. I think there's a Sixth Sense maybe on this.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think the game's on there somewhere too.
Let's do it. Okay. Donnie Darko versus Butterfly Effect.
I might use my veto on that one.
I feel you. I feel that.
Yeah. Used to be an Ashton Kutcher fan, and now I'm mad at him.
I might use Fight Club versus Black Swan. I'm going to use mine.
Yeah, all right. We got to do the next one.
Oh, sweet God. Old Boy versus Prisoners.
Oh, Christ. All right. Which old boy? Are we doing the OG Korean one? or the
It
fucking
says America
American
in
one?
parentheses. I think because,
All right,
it's,
all
because it's prisoners, but...
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to mean...
Yeah, so
God, I can't clip anything
Lock
in
in for
fucking
that one.
movie. I'm not going to be able to
maybe
make
him
clips
eating
of shit.
we I guess maybe like the hallway fight scene.
Sure,
and
the
him
awesome
eating
fight
dumplings.
scenes,
That's
but
it.
if I want to show
Yeah.
like us reacting to the end
Any
or anything,
dialogue.
I can't, yeah.
No. Here's what we do. We just record ourselves reacting to the ending, but we don't say what we're watching. It's just the reaction.
God, all right. That's going to be a
yeah, that's getting
definite change of pace.
demonetized. Holy shit.
Whatever. All right, well, there you have it. Our winner this week is Van Helsing in a landslide, and next week's episode is fucking Old Boy versus Prisoners. Damn.
Yeah, let's do some trauma. We're going from lighthearted fantasy to like I might not want to wake up the next morning.
Sweet Jesus. I can't wait to make the thumbnail for this episode. That would be
Just be
great.
us weeping.
All right. Well, with that, again, to those of you that have tuned in, I appreciate you showing up. Please share the episode, download, add, rate the show. Please comment. We want to
Hit
hear
a
what
button.
you guys want
Poke
to
something.
Yeah, or argue with us.
Touch something on the screen. Just anything.
I would be shocked if any of you disagree with the outcome of this episode. If you do, please let us know. And if you have an idea for a future episode, comment or DM us.
Yeah, let's hear from those League of Extraordinary Gentlemen stands. Why are we wrong?
Yeah. Anybody I mentioned this episode to said Van Helsing wins, so I would love to hear from those people that love League more. And kind of will assume some things about you as a human and your fandom for Sean Connery. With that, I am Devin Vestal.
I'm Nick Nye.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
See you next time.